It's Saturday night. You listen to Modern Comic Mayhem. Number 2 on Dennis Barger's most hated do not listen to podcast. Matt, cue the music.
It is Saturday night. You know what that means. You're tuned into another episode of Modern Comic Mayhem. As always with me, we got our fearless leader, the man in the chair, the captain of this ship, Mr. Kyle. Below me, we got the most hated man in Star Wars, a.k.a. the Happy Meal Hitman himself, Marco. And down there, we got and right below Kyle, we have the best beard in the game, without question, Solowookkie. And I am your co-pilot on this adventure of no one cares who I am. So I'm Matt. No, I'm Matt. Nobody cares who I am.
You try to steal the co-pilot thing here, man. You can't do that.
Listen. When you get a paycheck like mine from this channel, you can be whatever you want.
That's that big money, huh?
That's that big money.
That's that stimulus check money, huh? I guess people are getting stimulus checks. That's what everybody's been stimmy money, what they call it now, or whatever.
Thousandaires, we're thousandaires.
Good. What do they call that podcast money, Matt? Your 2 cents worth?
That's right.
Hey,
that's exactly.
Hey, speaking of Dennis Barger, I got to see Barger last weekend on Sunday. That con I went to, Dennis was there. He says hi to everybody. So,
except us.
Well, no, he actually didn't say hi to any of you guys, to tell you the truth. But he said hi to me.
Look at Marco trying to be nice.
Yeah, look at him. Look at this guy.
Only on a Tuesday.
The alpha male.
He didn't tell me I was number 1. Damn.
What does it take to be number 1, Solo?
2 fingers on the right and 2 fingers on the left.
Cool. Sorry.
All right. So what do we got going on the show today?
So we hit 100 likes last week. So Solo, you have a bag and board demonstration to be putting on.
Please don't.
Is that what you want? You guys want that?
No. How about we run down what's actually going on the show today? What do we actually have coming up?
We do actually have a pretty jam-packed show.
We do.
We've got Solo's awesome unboxing. Got a couple news stories. We have the writer, Tony Fleecs of Stray Dogs coming on, which I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
Really cool.
Yes.
We got some awesome comic reviews, and then we've also got my buddy doing some Pops Talk. And then we've got our awesome top 5 where other people try to replicate, but they're never as good as us. Our top 5 this week is 80s and 90s villains from the action movies. And then we've got Falcon Winter Soldier and Invincible Talk.
Oh, nice. We did have Jedi once again submitted his top 5 too, so that's kind of cool. We got some cool stuff going on here. Yeah. And I saw Mojo, he's in here waiting for the pop talk, so that's good. We got some good stuff going on. All right. Are we going to do this with Solo? Are we really going to do this? Do you got the invisible? We did. We got 100 likes. You guys gave us 100.
I do, and I actually
thank you, everybody.
As a comparison, I ordered another brand because I found 2 different brands. I thought there was only the one.
This was supposed to be a 5-minute segment. It's going to be 2 hours.
You've got me intrigued.
Well, and that's why it started, man, because everybody talks about the Comic Pro line, acid-free, clear backer boards, right?
No.
Nobody opens them. Nobody talks about them. So everybody gives you a little nothing, and they're like, hey, check these out. And everyone's like, cool, I want to check those out.
So
every time I ask someone, nobody's got them. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll get some and see.
What's going on, Jamie?
So what are they?
I have no clue what he's talking about.
So they're a backer board, right? But they're just clear. So instead of having just a board, for your wraparound covers.
I'm sorry, is that plastic?
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like there's
No, it's glass.
Film.
No, he's saying it's like a backer boards aren't made out of plastic typically. Because he's like, it's a backer board.
I didn't know it had protective plastic.
Yeah, it's protective glass on it.
Eric wants to know if they get fingerprints on
it.
No,
because he got protected. You see this, Eric? They're going to now. It has plastic on it. This is.
Well, look at that Comic Pro line. You sent me one with a big giant groove crack in it. Thanks, guys. That's all.
Fail.
So you already know that we have a chance of buying these and having broken ones.
Yeah. Well, that's all good though. It is what it is.
I mean, it can't be what it's
Wait,
not.
does it? So doesn't it?
You take the bad, you take them both in there. You got the backer
Facts
board.
of life.
Okay, but does it have like the little plastic pull away thing, or was it broken and pieces shards of plastic?
No, it's in between the two, but it looks like it got printed with a groove.
I never knew I had this many questions about whatever he's talking about.
Exactly. It's why I got them.
No, I wouldn't even know. I would have had 0 questions before you brought this up.
Look at there. Can you even see that little groove? Like the way it printed, there's a groove.
There. Okay. Hey, Dennis. So Dennis says there is a peel off. Thank you. That's what I'm asking him. Thank you.
Yes, there's a peel off, front and back peel off, and they printed that straight up with a groove in it. That's groovy. That's not good though.
We shouldn't have. We've already got 2 dislikes because of this.
If you've got the wraparound covers and stuff, and you put them in your Mylar or your bag or whatever you're doing, then look at this purse.
Oh, that's not a sound. That sounds great, especially for those audio listeners. Good? That's going to be really good.
That's going to be good.
So what? You peel them off to make sure.
Yeah.
Look, you just came here and you got a little ASMR. You got that for free.
Maybe we should have just had Dennis on to do this because apparently he.
I'm curious,
Dennis. So you can come on and explain this shit for us.
Has anyone else? I mean, obviously you guys haven't. Has anyone else got these or tried these, or what do you think of these?
I've never seen them.
They're pretty clear. Clean clear. Normally,
yeah. I guess for wraparounds, they are cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I dig that because now you can put the.
So you can.
This is what we're gonna be dealing with tonight, guys. So this is right here. Nice.
That's kind of neat.
I mean, I guess it would be cool if you had 2 wraparound covers. You could do one, and then the other one. You could stick them next to each other, I guess. But
sure, and I think that's kind of the whole idea is for those wraparound covers, so you don't have to. You can at least see it, and then you get the front.
What do they look like inside of it, Solo?
Inside of what?
Well, come on. Oh, all right. Well, Solo's going to spend an hour trying to fucking bag and board a comic here. Let's
put it in a bag and board. I think we just let him do that.
I'm working on it. There, guys.
Listen, it's
talking amongst yourselves.
Hey, they did this to us. Look, it wasn't us.
I'm gonna go with.
They didn't have to give a thumbs up. They did.
Look, okay. Let's talk about what's going on with Penguin House and Marvel while we're waiting for Solo to put a bag and board together, like a pro that he is. All right.
How expensive are these things? Real quickly, he didn't even get a price check on it.
A pack of 5 was 13 something, 12 something, right in that ballpark. Yep. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. There's a reason that it's been a while since.
Okay. Yeah.
How freaking sweet is that, though?
That actually does look really good.
That's the back,
right? But why wouldn't you just buy a top loader at this point?
Because it's in a Mylar, but it's just a clear board, so you can see the front and back of the book. Are they thicker and more durable than your normal cardboard?
Absolutely. This plastic absolutely seems way more rigid.
Like Dennis said.
Yeah, it's way more rigid than a top loader.
Oh, and let's flex that book and see how that works. Okay.
Dude, it's already got spine ticks on it, and I've got 2 other copies, so I'm not terribly
Eric wants to know what the best tape to use with those is.
Oh, please.
Actually, the best tape to use, oddly enough, is the blue brand of the Scotch tape because it sticks really well and it holds really well, but it's not... It's right there. It's wall safe. So even though it holds really well when you pull it off, it doesn't have that extra stick like that green Scotch tape style.
So for that price, I think you could buy top loaders though. I think this is right. Just top loaders.
Well, you could get 10 top loaders for like $20.
Yeah, you get 5 of those for 13. That's what I'm saying. Like for that price, just get a top.
I paid for those. I don't remember what I paid.
Okay, so let's talk about distribution issues there.
All right, let's go.
I think they were a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Keep that in
the giveaway. I like it.
Good. Got the Solowookkie seal of approval. That's all we were waiting for. You
That's
know what's
fine,
funny is he's now got more in plastic backing boards and Mylight bags than he does the comics worth at this point.
Did you buy something to compare to it?
Yeah, I got some other stuff to compare with it. For sure.
How much is that? I'm sorry. How much is the book worth that you just put in there?
Well, it's the one that I got laying here. I have other books that are a little more expensive, but I wanted to test it. I wanted to see its durability. I wanted to see how well it did or didn't flex.
Here, look, I got a 129 and a toppler. Let's see how this
Because it's not bad.
Yeah,
Well,
I would always suggest that blue tape's good, and it's easy to remove and put back in, especially if you're selling and stuff like that too. It's the blue tape is the we got some people asking about that. Yeah, I mean it's the one I always use. I sold Solo on it. I think he uses it now. You can buy it. The best part is like on the holidays, right around Christmas, like the week afterwards. If you go to your Target stores or Myers, it's on clearance.
I don't tape my books up. I just leave them like this.
I gotta tell you, man, I am really pretty darn impressed with it. I didn't think I was going to be as impressed as I am with these, and I really am pretty damn impressed, especially in a Mylar. Like it's really clean. It looks really good.
Jamie, Matt might not have, but I think we lost like 20 viewers already. We're back down to 52. So
no, I haven't left yet. All right, again, let's try this again. Penguin House, Marvel, Marco, go.
Oh yeah, so the news for those that don't know that the great diamond news, unfortunately for Giuseppe, is that it looks like Marvel has made a deal now with Penguin House, which it brings up a couple interesting points. We've had a lot of people have been talking about this, and it just is interesting because Diamond released a statement, and so did Penguin, and Penguin's statement pretty much is like, if you have an account with us, we're good, and you can be a wholesaler, and Diamond is we're going to be the wholesaler for Marvel because we'll have an agreement with Penguin. Which brings up an interesting possibility. First off, for all those FOC people, like, how hard is it going to be? I know some people that already have the Penguin account set up, right? Are we still going on the? Oh, it did. Great chat on Drunken Chat. I'm good. But either way, like, stop. All right. Anyways. So I guess the whole question is like, what's the difference going to make? I think if everybody could go through Penguin, that kind of gets rid of some of the mess up there. Like I know people already have their Penguin account set up. The discounts are going to be a little bit different. I think that's what people asked about. I know that Diamond's going to supposedly they're going to hold up their agreements now, but their tiered system. There's a lot of people that were like, I mean, if depending on how much you spent, your discounts were different, right? So if it's flat rate discount through Penguin, which it might be. It might not necessarily be a bad thing. Plus, you don't have to pay for shipping anymore, which is a big part of it. Like some of that stuff, why people were doing those monthly shipments were because why would you have Diamond ship when you're getting smaller orders already? And, just for the smaller guy, it kind of helped out. Now, for the regular LCS, it's 50-50. If they allow you to have just any old LLC and open up a Penguin account, then it's going to cause a lot of trouble, I think, if all rates are the same. You know what I mean? We're just going to have to see what the negotiation is. But I don't know anybody that's going to go. Why would you go through? I mean, we got a guy in here that isn't a huge fan of Diamond. We know that. We've seen the videos before. We've been at the Diamond Summits where he's questioned them on their mailing practices before. And he's not the only one. So I don't know why anybody would stay. Why would you stay with them? Like their email made no sense. Like we're still going to be a wholesaler of Marvel books. Great. Who's that good for? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't do anybody justice. I know just this last week, again, there's no inclement weather, but Diamond shipments were behind again in a bunch of different states. Like Penguin's going to have that supposedly straightened out. So
yeah. So what does that mean for people who don't know who don't know how that works? Like what does that do?
Let's say
what does that do for me, the common average? I don't take my bags and boards and my comics up guy.
It's going to be nothing for you. There's going to be no difference. The only thing that might be different is now when you show up to a store, they probably won't be late with their delivery. Your delivery will be on time. There'll be no more like, oh, come back at 3:00 or come back tomorrow so we can stock. Hopefully the delivery system gets better.
So do you think Marvel sat back and watched what DC did and was like, all right, we can do this too? And when Diamond shut down because of COVID and they couldn't get books out before shops started shutting down, that's where they were like, all right, well, we need to start going other avenues, other options. We can't have one distributor anymore.
I think that eventually the undercutting of certain distribution chains through Diamond caused the downfall. And I think when Marvel was readjusting to see what they have, that they had huge complaints that they're this is also going to help out their digital product, but their digital product wasn't getting as much gains as they thought. And they wanted to make sure that stuff was out there on the shelves. And they hurt a lot of people, especially over the last year, with or without what was going on just in the wintertime. I mean, the last 3 winters, does anybody get their, I mean, why even have comic book day on Wednesday? What's the point? Because you're not getting comic in most states in the Midwest and in the East Coast. You're not getting comics on Wednesday. You're getting them at 3:00 or later. You know what I mean? Because the shipments aren't coming in on time. With that being said, they're not even coming in, like, even when it's not inclement weather, some days you aren't having that. And I think Marvel took that to say, like, hey, you got to get the books. If we're going to do this whole thing around Wednesday, you have to get the books out there. You have to get them on time. And when you look at the distribution ability of Penguin, supposedly, from what they say, it's going to be a lot better. Yeah, I think, and I don't think they're going to be compared. I don't know what Dennis's opinion on it, but I don't think the DC model and the Penguin model are comparable. Penguin's already gone through this, how they had to restructure their distribution through bookstores shutting and everything like that, and how they've already fixed that problem. And you saw it go seamlessly through the pandemic and stuff like that. So I think that their chain's already in place for that, so they don't have to worry about it. Where you could see Diamond had a backup. Yes, that's true. DC had issues. They still have issues and are trying to figure it out. So all Marvel has to do is make sure the stuff shows up on Wednesday and they're back to the game. And I think that's what they're going to end up doing. Now, the only question is the discount thing.
I love that code. Diamond is the warehouse version of the eBay guy who sends your book loose in a bubble mailer.
Yeah, it's there's definitely but you know, with that being said, even when they had the regional distribution before that, there was some interesting shipping method box type things too. So I'm not going to hammer them that much on that, I guess. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. We'll see. I mean, we haven't gotten shipments from Penguin yet. I mean, everybody's saying it's going to be better, but like,
I wonder what they do that's not much different. More of a white glove treatment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's still going from a printer to them to, I mean, yeah. Well, okay, so like some of the boxes, like, and Dennis will probably remember this when Ontario was shipping this stuff out. There were some boxes that they were just shoving books in. Like, I still have some of those boxes, those sideways, the boxes from like the 70s and 80s. Like that wasn't any better way to ship it. So with that being said, hopefully they just do a better job of it. Hopefully it distributes on time. I think that's the big fact. The question is, are they going to flat rate discount? I think the biggest question is how the discounts are going to work. Are you going to turn that into a flat rate discount? Because you already don't have shipping, which is great. Because that was something you had to factor in, depending not just on what your discount was through Diamond, but the shipping rate through Diamond, who you went through, and that. And now it's free freight. So like that right off lowers the overall cost. But then too, is it going to be 50%? Because if it's 50%, you know, that's okay for the low end guy, but the higher up guy that's doing a lot of volume, you were paying less than that, even with shipping. And
it will be more of a pain in the ass for the comic book store owner. Like, so now do you choose, you do some through Diamond, some through Penguin, some through whoever DC was doing. So now is it more of a pain in the ass that way then?
So here's what it says. It says that Penguin Random House is a free freight company, allowing retailers to simplify their business model while elevating and alleviating the validity and complexity of reducing freight costs and planning. Through many of PRH's standards offerings, like its rapid replenishment program for graphic novels and advanced supply chains, direct market retailers will be experiencing more flexibility to manage inventory and stock their stores to the best service of their customers. Direct market retailers can choose to order Marvel products.
Time out right there. That is interesting, because the only way I could see that flexibility changing is instead of a Tuesday delivery date, they also allow the shipping date to be on a Thursday for regular distribution through books, like they would typically to the bookstore thing, or through a Monday or whatever it is. I mean, because there's like 3 days you can ship out to bookstores. So if that's what they're saying that they're going to do, that's fine, but that's on TPBs. You're still not doing that on looses unless you're doing reorders. So the flexibility on that is negligible. It only matters if they can get it on a time basis of making sure the deliveries are getting there on a Tuesday, is all I'm going to say about that.
So there you go. You can see it kind of gives a breakdown of what it is.
Even just making sure that you get them there on a Tuesday so you can have them bagged and boarded and ready to go out on Wednesday is a huge difference. I mean, half of the time Diamond can't get it there on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the whole reason for the move. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. And we'll see. I mean, I know everybody's hoping that the packaging gets better or whatever, but I've got of little faith. I mean, it's not like Marvel's going to change around how the paper they printed on or the ink they use or the printers that they use. I mean, those are three things they're not changing. So now, does Penguin Penguin's sub distribution warehouses? Do they have more? Yes. So that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, it should make it way easier for them. And it's not like Diamond was sitting on 56%.
Thank you.
Diamond wasn't really sitting on good terms or good financial status at this point anyway. They were having troubles and going down and losing money and just shit in the bed. So it doesn't surprise me at all because Lunar came in, took DC, and when I was
you better watch what you say about DC distribution because that didn't go off so smoothly. I mean, that wasn't.
When I was down at Mystery, we got our books on time and we got them in better condition, and we were getting them from Diamond. We had a lot less trouble. We had
that is one thing I hear from local shops is that the way Lunar and them are shipping them, it's a much nicer product than what you're getting from Diamond.
Yeah. They also stepped up to card stock. Listen, I'm not going to debate that. Just the timely issue. If you remember I don't know how it happened down in the West Coast, but like out here on the East Coast and the Midwest, DC every week we might get some DC books in. So it wasn't like we were getting shipments. I mean, it took a while for them to adjust to that. Where I don't think we're going to have that gap with Penguin. I think Penguin's going to be seamless when it goes through there. But then again, Marvel does shit right, and DC does what DC does. So.
Yeah, I think some of that whole transition was a big part of DC rather than Lunar and some of that other stuff. But, I'm sure there was trial and error and wins and losses on both sides. So it'll be interesting. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all to see someone else step up to the plate and give it a shot.
Jamie, I see what you're saying about the newsstand thing, but they're actually going to change around the UPC scan so it's all one universal, so they're not actually going to they'll still have it I would imagine they would still sell them there, but it's not going to be like a direct newsstand edition. It's going to be one universal UPC. So that's at least what they said they're going to do anyways. I mean, we'll see what they actually do to cut down on scanning. He was asking about if they're going to go back to gas stations and have newsstands, and I would highly it'd be cheaper. It would make sense for bookstores and gas stations to have them again, just because of how the distribution already works with that. The only thing is I don't think they're going to switch it. Like there's not going to be a different UPC or different barcode on it. It's all going to be one universal UPC.
I kind of wish they would have some more newsstands. Well, and I mean, they could put the barcode on the back and then they could just use these clear backing boards and then just have it right there and just scan it right. I mean, boom.
Yeah. Sorry, Patrick, for crapping all over your dreams. I understand that. But it does make cost-wise, it makes sense too. So actually newsstands in this case would be worse because now you're not only getting damaged copies and people figuring through it after they pick their nose, but it also is all the same and you won't be able to tell the difference between the two.
All right, well, moving on from that because I think we just talked that to death into some lighter news. It looks like we're getting some semblance of normal back in our community. I guess you could say as Comic-Con International announced that, yes, San Diego Comic-Con this year has been canceled, but they are planning another con for November that's going to be called Comic-Con Special Edition. It's going to be a smaller, more intimate convention to be held November 26th through the 28th. That's the Friday and Sunday event falls immediately after Thanksgiving.
So before we get into that, remember, everybody, if you're not playing the drinking game, play the drinking game. We have an awesome drinking game that we play. There's keywords. If you flash there it
is. Don't flash anything. Keep your
flash mat. No, take a pic. Use your QR code scanners. Scan that. We've got keywords for you. So just something for you to sit and drink along with me and everybody else. Sorry to interrupt. Continue forward, please.
Comic-Con International Special Edition. Any Any interest? Any of you guys gonna try to check it out?
No.
No, not even.
I haven't even gone for the last couple. I haven't gone for like 6 or 7 years to San Diego because I just don't like that big of crowds. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna do something more imminent small.
Extremely interested to see what the crowd size is the first year they actually run a San Diego Comic-Con. I'm interested to see if it comes back to just being a mass of humanity that wants to stop and take pictures in front of you, or if it's actually going to be back to like more intimate, smaller crowds where you can move around freely.
Yeah. And I also wonder too, like how expensive that's going to be. Booyah Boy brings it up. It's going to be a special edition price, which, yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about that, about how expensive everything else is going up too, as the prices of books and everything like that. Like, what is the actual overall cost going to be to getting back into cons when that happens? The process of everything's gone up, and some of those tickets were becoming astronomical anyways. Like even your B-rate shows were getting to the point where, I'm not going to say which shows I consider B tier, but not San Diego, not New York. When you're starting to go to even like not S tier after your A, but your B ones, your regional ones. I mean, though you're talking about $80 for a weekend pass to a sub-tier con, which were great cons. Don't get me wrong. I love all cons, but like it was starting to get expensive anyways. I didn't realize that those prices were getting that high. But they were, and that's unfortunate. So I wonder what's going to happen, because now they have the excuse of, well, we're letting less people in. It's more exclusive and we have to take care of cleaning and whatever else we have to take care of. So, I mean, what could a ticket possibly cost? I mean, what are tickets for A or S tier? I mean, S tier, obviously San Diego and New York, when they open up, it's just going to be astronomical, but it was already getting there. I mean, think about your regular A tiers, like your Motor Cities or your Emeralds or your Heroes or something like that. Like Baltimore's even like kind of B-ish A tier, but like, think about those types and how much it was. I don't remember what Baltimore was 2 years ago, but I do remember somebody telling me, and I was astonished that people were paying that to get into the door to, that tier of a con, to be honest with you. So I think he has a good point. I think that the price is just going to be astronomical.
Well, they haven't released any information on price or the size of the crowd. I think that's going to be more dictated by what California's situation is at that point. But it's good. It's good that hopefully there's going to be some cons this year, just a little bit longer wait. It'll be interesting to see.
Bucket list.
It'll be interesting to see if they put a vaccine stipulation in there too. So who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
With attending a convention like that, or like San Diego next year.
What did you make people show their piece of paper?
Yeah, you have to prove it. Just like in Michigan, where you get free weed and donuts.
That's I live very close. It's a very small town that shop that's doing that is in. A very small lakefront.
That's disappointing.
Town. Yeah, it sucks.
McClay was already packing his stuff, man.
He's not welcome here.
He has a U-Haul in his driveway.
Yeah. He's going to be disappointed to know that he's got to return that bad boy. It's going to be a hard day.
Yeah. So, no, it's exciting to hear that places are opening back up. As I was saying, I went, I go to that con all the time. Dennis showed up there this last week, and it was surprising the amount of people that had come. That was probably, 25% more people were in there. Obviously, I leave a little bit early on that show, but I don't know how the rest of the show went. But it was, the numbers of people just fiending for any type of con. And I think that con is only like $5 at the door, which is amazing. But it's also very small. So
I would love to have small cons here. I think we said it before. I would love to have just small cons where we're just dealers with books where I can just sit around and dig through shit that I want. I would love that. They don't do that here.
Yeah, no,
but Arizona sucks about stuff like that.
We're actually pretty good. Like our small and small medium cons, like small medium as in not keynote cons, the ones that there'll be quarterly ones or stuff like that on it, are pretty darn good. We get a pretty good showing on it, and that happens throughout the Midwest. Like Indiana's got some good ones too. So is Ohio. Even I don't go to Ohio because it smells, but
wow.
What does it smell like?
That's just a shout out to Ben right there.
Smells like Brad Pitt's aftershave.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but I love it. What's that? No.
Patchouli oil?
No, doesn't smell that good.
Brad Pitt's aftershave.
But there's great. I mean, it's unfortunate. You know, that's always the thing. Like the small cons, I know some people knock them, but they're great to go there. And there's a lot of before hours back and forth buying, selling, and trading that goes on too. So I've always enjoyed those, and just chit chatting with people.
Brian and I want to put together a small one like that here.
You're gonna call it Old Man Con?
No, we're gonna call it Comic Book Jesus Con.
Well, you should. I think you guys should. That's not, honestly, with how much
out of your convention con.
Which how much it brings in, even people you'd be surprised. Like, people can badmouth the apps or whatever on the people's phones. Is there like 2 or 3 apps these people are using all the time? But the truth of the matter is these people use those things, and what you couldn't sell before in dollar boxes are flying out of there because of these apps. Like, it's getting rid of your bulk. So, I'd advise you, if you guys don't have small cons, go talk to your local Knights of Columbus or whatever type of situation you have there. See what you could do. I mean, tables, it's usually tables cover the cost anyways of your rental, and then after that, it's all gravy. So, I see what they're saying about what smells and what doesn't. Yes, I'm trying to not
chosen aftershave.
Yeah, believe it or not, there's been a lot of cologne at these lately. The card guys must be showing up because they really like the cologne. So
it's the investors from Wall Street looking for good books. They always smell good. They got the money.
I didn't say it smelled good. I said it smelled like cologne. I didn't.
That's how the speculators are trying to throw you off the trail now. They're bathing and wearing cologne. So they're like, you must not be a comic book fan because you don't stink. So
you smell too good to be digging through comics.
Yep.
I will say at that show a couple weeks ago, there's these 2 gentlemen, nice guys. I would hate to say that they're father and son, but they seem like that different in age group to each other. But they're some other guy who might smell like nachos and what was it? Nachos and aftershave. Yes. Walked up to these 2 guys and go, while they're digging through dollar books, by the way, and pulling stuff out. Oh, do you guys come here for comics? And I was like, what is this guy kidding me? Like, no, they come here to just smell you the whole time. Like, what do you mean? Do they come here for comics? And, and then I looked around and I was like, oh wow, they like their shoes are tied. Their clothes kind of match. They look a little respectable. Maybe that's why he didn't think they should have been at that con. But they definitely bought a lot more than that guy did. So.
Yeah, card guy. How could you tell? You smell like high karate.
I'm not saying anything because I got some friends who are card guys. But
you smell like you smell like Jacquard. You must be buying cards.
Lululemon that don't fit and Jacquard, dude. I don't get it. Bro. But whatever.
Man, there's always that one dude that's still sporting polo and smells like the entire fraternity house.
That's what. Yes,
like, dude,
we get
bathe
that.
In that. You don't have to bathe in it.
No, it's all right, man. It's just
like, man,
you could. The thing is, they're coming. No, they're you know who's walking in the door before they even get there, bro. It's great. I enjoy it. It's fun. Yeah. So I mean, that's it. It's great. I'm looking forward to cons coming back. I know that's I think a lot of other people are too. I hope they are. I know the only fear that I have is that so many people have been getting used to sitting at home and just doing the online thing that, I mean, why would you go back if that's your thing? If the online thing is your thing, right? Then I know we got some people in the chat probably can help me out with this because it's not my thing. But if sitting on there and sniping people and buying books for me is what you like to do online, that's cool. My question is, are you going to start going back to cons because you've been so used to this, like, just put it on your credit card, worry about it later, that type of thing? Or are you going to start coming back out and doing the regular thing? Every time you guys keep flashing 15 different things for 3 seconds, it's distracting, correct?
I'm stoked to go back. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that. I think a lot of people are feeling like, man, I want to get out. I want to rub elbows.
I just want to dig for comics again.
Yeah, I want to be able to.
I miss having places to dig for comics.
But what do you think about all these? I mean, look,
you
can say what you want. There's a ton of new people now, right? Like, there's just a ton. There's a ton of new people. Like, do you think they're going to like that?
What?
Like, do you think? Yeah, do you think they're all like digging through dollar boxes and like just grinding it out?
Then that makes it better for me.
I think they are, because you've spent. Look, you watch this channel, right? You watch Tales from the Flipside. You watch whatever other comic book channels are out there. You just spent a year absorbing all this knowledge, and you're going to go out there and you're going to dig, and you're going to have the thrill of the find, and you're going to want to come back and litter our message boards and litter our stuff with like, check out what I got this week. Check out what I found. Look what I found. Like, it's that excitement for that new comic fan that's just coming into this, that just spent the last year in quarantine, hasn't been able to get out there yet, and they're ready to hit the ground running and get out there and try to show us, look, I can do this too.
Yeah, I see Joe's comments about grinders will continue, but we've never stopped. Like, I've been in the back of trucks in Nordstrom rack pants, for what the rumors are. I don't know how that happens.
There's no rumors. You literally said that.
Well, I have been,
yeah. I literally said my khakis in the back of a truck.
It was not khakis. Okay, either way. But yeah, I mean, like, that's it. Like, I think we've all gotten there. Like, somehow or another, we've all been doing it for a while. We've all been going out there and getting it. I'm talking about this new breed. You know, there's a lot of new people in this. Like, and some of these new people are like Matt said, they're like a year old now because they found this channel a year ago, or they found a different channel a year ago, you know, and they've been sitting here watching it and listening about it, but they haven't grinded it out. Like, maybe they've gone to your local half price books or Second and Charles, because those have been open or whatever, but like, they haven't gotten the con dollar bin on the grind smelly experience. I mean, I'm just wondering how many of those people are going to legitimately go there.
Eric, you stay off my number ones unless you're buying them for me, buddy.
Hey,
much love.
I do miss those couple of dealers that see me walking up and they go, "Uh-oh." I do miss that. Like,
yeah, I'll be honest. I did it for about 7 months. Well, the con that Dennis was at last week, and Dino the month before that, and that show shut down for, I think, like 6 or 7 months. All right, and when the day we got back,
what are you wearing, Marco from State Farm?
and when it got back, like, it was even a little bit awkward the first show that came back, but then after that, like, everybody got back into their, like, by the third month, everybody got into their usual grind, respectively, you know, stuff like that. And now, like, last weekend, it was better as far as attendance level. I wouldn't say the books were as good. I mean, the deals are still good there early on, but like, it was attendance wise, it was just more people than I've seen there in a long time. So, I mean,
do you think the reason the books aren't as good is, you think because there's more people like us out there grinding and finding stuff and getting into collections and getting into that stuff, so it's not making its way like it used to? Or
no, I definitely think two things. One, people are finally getting up earlier, so the competition is there early on. So you can read into that the way you want to read into it before the doors open. Number two, a lot of people had to make, if they were making a living off of comics, if this was their majority income compared to their 9 to 5, that doesn't make them much. They still had to make their money. And they finally, the ones that were stubborn and decided not to move online, finally moved online over the last year and a half because they had nothing else to do, and that time got filled. You know, that's one thing I talk about, like, when people are like, oh, well, they had eBay priced, all their books were eBay priced on their wall. Well, yeah, it should be, because you should be smart enough to go up to those people and know what the percentage is for eBay and go, hey, I mean, we saw that before the pandemic was hitting. Those prices started getting up to eBay. I remember probably 8 months before, when we were going to the cons in that rotation year right before that happened, people were starting to see eBay prices on walls from some of the bigger guys, from some of the more known people, the people that you see that do, 22 cons a year, right? Not even like the big, not the Reese's, not them. I'm talking like the guys that just do all the regionals and maybe a couple big ones, LA, San Diego, New York, whatever. You were starting to see that get up there anyways, and they would actually sell them. They'd actually sell them. But it was the 33% sale, whatever. You had already know that was going on. Now it's everybody that does that, because you had 6 to 8 months where they had to sell what they had, right? Like, you had to get the prices up there. So with that being said, why would you even reprice your book? Just put it up there because it's sitting on eBay anyways. If somebody comes by and offers you 20% less and you have it set up on eBay, you just take that. They're on their phone. They're not looking at girly sites or something on their phone, they're watching their eBay accounts, bro. Like the rest of us. That's what they're doing, man. So why not just, oh, yep, cool. Give me 1 second. Let me take it down. You'll see it all the time now, too. That's the one big change. You'll see it a lot that they would write it down. What did he say? I didn't see that one. But you'll see them go like, give me 1 second when they're doing the sales and everything like that. No, but that's what I'm telling you. If you go to cons, there will be no difference than getting. You can get a difference between the two. You can actually, any decent dealer will give you the difference between the two.
Well, I mean, you can see what you're saying. You can see that COVID has helped this hobby, if you want, so exponentially, because you walk into a comic book shop on Wednesday, and you're right, you see guys on Key Collector and all these other sites like looking at books and like, oh man, and just grabbing, and people you've never seen there before. If you frequent your shop, you pretty much see most of the people that come and go, and you're getting all kinds of new people that you would never.
Well, what happened to you a couple weeks ago at the comic book store?
What's that?
Yeah, I mean, I got notice from this show, and he was like, "Hey, you're on Tales from the Flipside," and I was like, "Yeah," and he was literally grabbing every book I was grabbing, and I turned to him, I go, "Dude, I don't speculate. Like, so you trying to follow what I'm doing isn't going to get you anywhere, because I'm not a speculator. I just read what I like to read."
You're going to be a happy reader, but you're going to be really broke.
Exactly. I read what I like to read. I'm not a Nico or half of these guys that are speculators. It's just not what I do. I just read what I like to read. So I guess I just get the benefit of you buying what I buy because I'm on this channel. Like, I'm YouTube famous, right? Yeah.
Dude, Des didn't even know who I was, so I'm not even that famous. So I don't get noticed in Walmart.
You should get a shirt that says "I'm Marco."
Part of what you were talking about and asking there, Marco, with new people coming in. I mean, we were all new at one time and coming into cons and coming back into stores and digging. And I mean, I feel like that's a little bit of what we all want. Again, to get back out there and rub elbows and talk, and oh, hey, you run into your buddy or whatever at the store. Once in a while, you run into someone that is on a podcast, and you got a question that you couldn't ask in the chat, or you got a question, you know what I mean? And you
that's why
to talk to them and be like, hey, I just had this quick question. What do you think about this, or what do you think about that?
That's why I hope this stays on, because this is how I go. Like, you can ask Dennis.
You're so short. That's what everybody sees in you, anyways. Yeah. When they look up at you, all they see is that anyway.
Yeah, it's just eyes. There's nothing. Yeah. Everything else is covered. It's literally a box of eyes, and that's it.
And not only that, but it's good to see more and new people coming into the hobby, because it's only going to help the hobby. I mean, if it's hard to have. It's hard to have too many. It's hard to have too little. That happy medium is definitely the best. But if we don't continue it and keep people coming to it, then, I mean, the hobby can die.
JJ, know the nightmares that you have falling asleep to this show.
Yeah. Hey, sorry you're not feeling good, brother. I hope you feel better. Yeah, I think yes. Everybody but me is YouTube famous. That's because I hang out in shady places, dude. I mean, like
the back of a truck in Nordstrom rack pants.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where you find Marco.
You have to blend in.
Okay. So speaking of that, on that same note, speaking of all the new people coming to this, so when we have new spin-off Marvel shows on Disney Plus, like we're gonna get spinning out of Hawkeye. You're gonna have this influx of all these new people spanning for those books. So do you think that's gonna have an effect on the market? You just had the first Black Captain America show up in Falcon Winter Soldier that we'll get to later tonight. What's that gonna do? Like, are these pop-up appearances? You're gonna have these new people flocking to looking for those books. Do you think that's gonna overly inflate the price of those books to where they become outrageous for no reason?
Absolutely. I mean, we're gonna see. I mean, if you can't get a certain book at a certain value, if you can't do this, like even like the profit margins on some of these books, when we're talking about it, like, people in this chat will tell you they bought some of these books for 50 cents or $1, right? Like, and now people are I mean, can you imagine? It's just phenomenal when you're talking about, hey, that box over there, I haven't been through it in 6 months. I probably missed out on $8, $9, $1,000 because I should have listed some offset book that I bought for a quarter just because I threw it in because I needed the extra book because it was buy 12, get 15. You know what I mean? Like, that's the crazy stuff that's going on. And to a point where you see some of these guys that are like, cool, I'm going to go out and buy that book, even though it's $10 now, and make $10 profit off of it. Like, yeah, I get it, man. Like, I didn't get it for a while. I really did not. I was always like, why would somebody buy a book just to make $10 off of it or whatever? But I understand it's exciting. It gets people going. It's like, why would you buy scratch off lottery tickets? But people still do it. Like, I mean, it might not be for me.
Hey, I mean, you
but
buy
hey, dude, I'm not knocking it.
Sell it for 20, you doubled your money. You're on to the next book. I mean, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. If they lose, it doesn't. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if they're losing overall and still just they get one book, one good sale, one something like that. Like, I get it. I mean, I think people even like Nico say like sometimes some people like us have been around too long, so we've been tainted or whatever. And it's like, I get that, but it's not even that. Let them have fun. Let them keep it going. Shoot, all it's doing is pushing other books up, right? Like, you don't have to always be right. You don't have to own every book. But if you've been doing it for long enough, you got enough of the books that are going to be making the money anyways. So let them go after it. I don't like when people are like trying to make up something, like, hey, let's sell a little something fishy here to make this book go up. Don't get me wrong. I don't, or you're trying to sell library editions. You know my opinion on that. Like, if it's a print on demand book, please. But with that being said, like, if you like it because the cover art, if you like it because a fifth print is the same book as the first print, but it's a different color, and that's what you're going to do, like, go ahead. I mean, guys have been collecting that weird stuff for a while. They've been collecting newsstands. I'm not a big newsstand collector, but I sell a lot of newsstands.
I collect the same way Raymond does. I just buy what I like.
Yeah. And that's cool. You should buy two.
I do that, and then when Star Wars, I'm like, Marco, should I buy this book? And he's like, oh, this, and this, and I'm like, cool, and I buy it, and then it hits, and I still just hold on to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, and that's kind of the thing. Like, it was really tough early on too, because everybody's like, well, should I buy this book at this price? And it's like, I can't tell you what you can't tell what the price is, especially like a year ago when people were asking like, what's in this book? Nothing. So why is it good? Well, do you think it's going to be worth $200? No, but probably. Well, why do you think it's going to be worth $200? Because somebody's going to talk about the book and show it on the internet, and it's going to be here. I got a book. I picked this book up right here. Actually, I love this book. It's not worth anything. Okay. But just doing that, sometimes people don't even listen to what these YouTube people are saying. YouTube people, like I don't consider myself one, but like they just look at it, they pause it, they look for the books. Now that you never know, they're going to go out and start going after stuff. There was appearances of
right now. Pick up every copy of this book that you could find.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But no, I mean, like it was a weird market, right? But now we've had enough time. It has been long enough to figure out that whatever's going on, yeah, there's a lot of funny business. There just is. We can see it. You know what it is. But at the same time, there's just people out there enjoying this. It's like playing, like when online poker was big or whatever else. There's people that just, they want to spend their money on it. And if they win, they win. And if they lose, it's on to the next thing, man. It's the next day, the next one. They don't have to win all the time. They don't have to buy Nordstrom rack pants. They just have to have fun with what they're doing. And that's what they're going to do. So good on them. Keep spending that money.
I want to know how many of the newbie collectors are like salivating the fact that they think they just hit it big with that Berserker news last week and what they think they're going to try and sell it for.
What Berserker news last week?
The fact that they're turning it into a TV show or a Netflix series.
Who didn't know that?
Starring Keanu Reeves.
I'm saying all these newbies that you're talking about that are just getting the game who went out and bought Berserker #1 because everyone talked about it. So did we in the Hive Comics version. Now that they think they're going to have a hit.
You think you like it, you want it, buy it.
I'll say that. You know what? Those are the biggest wins. The biggest wins are when you're looking at a book and you're like, and you guys seen me do it before where I go through a box. I'm like, yeah, I like this book. Do you know how much that book's worth? Not really. I just like it. And the reason is like those ones where you hit it and you bought 2 copies or 3 or 4 and you hit that, like, that's good. Like that Thrawn Matina is always the perfect example of that book, right? Like I had a 50 stack going into Baltimore with that book. And it came down to, I can tell you the 2 books it came down to. At the end, we had already gotten our gold was already set because we did what we had. We had 10 gold, 30 silver. So the rest was modern. So it's 40. So we had 10 books that we were going to do that were modern, right? The books it came down to was the Jim Lee Joker sketch 1 in 100 and that Thrawn book. And I literally turned to my buddy and I was like, hey, man, I did not press either book. And which I don't press a lot of the new books because they're new. And if you see them on the stand and you think it's a 9.8, it should be a 9.8. And if it's not, then you should look at the book better. But I was like, I think these both are 9.8s. And he said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm really going to keep the Matina forever. So I probably should pass on it because I didn't have enough. I actually had 53 books because you always take a couple extra books. And I was like, I have 53. I'm going to do 50. I'm not going to do extra 3. Came down to Jim Lee and that one. And I did not grade the Jim Lee. And he does like turtles. I did not grade the Jim Lee, and I probably should have.
Turtles.
Because at the time, if I would have 9.8 that Jim Lee, it would have been worth a lot more. But in the long run, that Matina, I don't know what that Matina just sold for, because I just can't stomach looking at it. Because every time I get a text from the guy that was there, he goes, "You're going to sell that book yet? This is the price for a 9.8." And I used to joke that because. You guys know which box that's in. There's a lot of good books in that box. That Matina was by far the worst value-wise of that for many years. And now it's right up there with the rest of the books. The last time, I guess, the price was maybe not as high. Because what are they going for? Only $2,500 or something like that. So not as high as some of the other books in there. But like, it's getting up there. It's getting close. You know what I mean? So just buy the stuff you like. And then all of a sudden you might have a $2,500 book that you refuse to sell. Yes. You never know. McDonald's.
Even if you are listening and you're a newbie comic collector or flipper or whatever, you know how you learn the best is by buying and selling. Buy what you think, sell what you think, buy what you think, keep what you think. It doesn't matter. Just do you like, you know what? It's just happy that people are buying books.
Yeah, get in there and buy it. If you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, 2 months down the road, you can sell it. Or a week down the road, you can sell it. Or you can try and, trade it in to get a higher grade copy. I mean, buy what you like. Do you? Don't worry about what anybody else says or thinks. Give it time. Don't be in such a rush.
But those are the books that I show off, like the green labels, the blue labels, because they have stories behind them. The 1.5s. That you get the Thrawn. Well, see, that's what sucks. I can't say that anymore now because that used to be like $100 book and now whatever. But like those ones that you pick off the rack yourself, that you didn't press, that you sent in, came back in 9.8 and wasn't worth anything. And then one day just turns in big. Or like I have a book that CGC labeled. They gave it a blue label and the notes on it are like everything from extra manufactured staple to extra tape to get the book together. Somebody threw some glue in there. There might even be color touch for all I know. I'd have to read the whole label. It's a paragraph of how much stuff is wrong with that book. And I didn't ask them to it, and they still blue labeled it. So you better believe I'm never selling that book. Like
that's awesome. I would love to turn in a book not knowing and get it back and just find out that all this crazy shit has been done. It would. I mean, not a huge book. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be like fucking torn down in the comments on Monday, but I'm just saying like in the thought of it would actually be kind of cool. I've got this cool book, but it's got all this stuff. I don't know. It would kind of be almost like the ex-girlfriend book. It's just not expected and it's cool.
Yeah. The ex-girl. No, it is cool. Like I unfortunately am notorious for at least, one submission a year having some book that I didn't page count or I didn't look to see if the ad was in there or the MVP or something like that. And I get a green label on it. And it is what it is. I mean, you just chalk that up to you put an L on that one and move on to the next one. I mean, I've seen much worse. There was one year where me and John Z were in the line and it was like, whose book's going to come back worse? You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's see how many of these things we can get coming out of CGC. So
I agree that Dennis gave some awesome advice.
Yeah, he did. I agree with him 100%. Yeah. If you're not going to keep it for PC. Yep.
But just, just buy what you like. And you know what? If it hits and you can sell it, great. And if not, you still got great quality entertainment.
But that's also hard too. Cause some of those people who were lucky enough to hit on a, Edge of Spider-Verse 9.8. You bought it for $3.99 off the rack, and now it's $1,000 book. You're like, do I sell it, or can I see how high this goes? Well, Ultimate Fallout, First Miles. Do I sell it, or do I see how high it goes? It's a double-edged sword. It's hard. It's cool when that happens, but it's also hard.
It's because it feels like I'm always talking to my friends, so I feel like everybody is always there with me at all these little adventures. I don't know.
I'm always there with you, Marco.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Right here.
In spirit.
No, but that's great. So I think we're burning a little time because we're waiting for a friend of ours to drop by. But how about we move on a little bit now? That was great talking about all that stuff.
Hey, so I mean, if you want to feel like you're even more part of the comic community, DC wants you to do a thing where they're gonna pull the old Red Hood again on you, the old Jason Todd, and they want you to name Nightwing's three-legged dog.
He heard us. His ears were ringing.
Yes, they were.
They were absolutely ringing.
Do you want to pull him in and introduce him, Kyle?
No. Well, we'll do the Jason Todd thing real quick. No, let's pull him in.
Yeah.
He's better than us at this, anyways. Hey, Tony, what's going on?
You can do the Jason Todd thing.
No, are you going to vote for the dog's name?
It's not Jason Todd. It's Dick Grayson.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Don't do a Dick Grayson thing then. I'm sorry.
All right, it's not.
That changes everything. Cut. Take two.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, so for everybody that doesn't know, we have Tony Fleecs on. Stray Dogs. We've reviewed that book before. We're huge fans of it. No, we haven't. No, he has to go. Okay, so we're big fans of it. That
we reviewed issue 1. It was great. We loved it.
Yep, absolutely. Also a big fan of some of his other stuff. He was gracious enough to come on with us real quickly, so figured we'll talk about it because number 2 came back out. I will tell you this, just before we get into some of the stuff. I was thrown by that book. I did not catch the red scarf thing. Yes, I know. I didn't catch the red scarf thing till the end, and everybody in chat and everybody here had to point out how I missed the subtlety of the red scarf in the first panel and how it showed up in the
He completely missed most of the book.
I love the book. No, I loved it. I was like, this is a great book. I'm like, this is cool. This is cool. They're like, did you miss the red scarf thing? I was like, what are you?
Were you looking at the words, or did you just look at the pictures? What was going on?
He was totally just looking at the pictures. He didn't read shit.
Yeah. So I am notorious for saying that sometimes, especially certain brands of comics, has too many words in it, and I like my comic books with pictures. So I was looking at the pictures, and I didn't really read them. But that's okay. It's neither here.
We're doing our best to keep a pretty good, even mix on this one. Me being an artist and Trish being an artist too. Like we don't have to say and show at the same time, we can just show stuff in the storytelling. So hopefully one of the complaints that I get is people go like, oh, I read that really fast. And to me, I'm just like, well, that was on purpose. Like, I just want this to be like a one bathroom break comic, just like in and out, Yeah.
I will say it's the first, this week, even before I knew you were coming out, it was the first book that I actually read because it is enjoyable to see it. I do have a question though. Like, how does it come down where you're like, hey, listen, I'm going to go to pitch somebody else that does pony magazines to write a book about psycho dog killing things. Like I know there's some
dogs dying in this thing. There's dogs being kept as trophies.
Yeah. No, it was definitely a concern. But I had met Trish through My Little Pony because that's basically my day job.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know each other super well. And the thing about if you guys have met bronies or people who are fans of My Little Pony, I don't know that necessarily they're on board for this sort of thing, murder and just real quick, if people are listening that don't know what the book's about, it's a story about a serial killer who takes his victims' dogs as trophies. But the whole story is told from the perspective of the dogs. So, and they don't have great memories, so they don't really know what's going on. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, so I had to go to Trish. The way that she draws is way more compassionate than how I draw, which is a weird distinction, I guess. But I just knew that the heart that I wanted to be in this book she could do it way better than I could. So I knew I wanted her to do it. And I figured if she didn't do it, I guess that I would, but like, I didn't want, like, I wanted her. And I was afraid that she was just going to be like, ugh, murder. No, I'm here for friendship and magic. Like I don't, I'm interested in that. But luckily, I approached her about it, and we sat down and I sort of pitched her the story, and she just right away was just like, yeah, I'll do that, which is crazy because like I didn't pay her to do it. Like we're partners. We split this thing 50-50. So basically she was saying like, I will spend 2+ years, drawing this for free. And, it's not like Image was already on the hook or anything. It was just like, we're going to make this thing, and maybe.
Well, you guys at Comic Pro a couple years ago, right? It's been a couple years now. Like the last Comic Pro, not the one that they just did online, but the one before that. Yeah. You guys had almost. Did you have it? It was almost finished, right? Like
we had the first issue printed, and we had previews to hand out to people.
Mm-hmm. By the way, congrats on going to a second print on that first issue.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people are saying that they ordered as much of the second issue or the second print as they ordered of the first print, and then
you guys are killing it.
Double up on the second issue. I don't know. The second issue dropped like second issues normally do. I guess this is business behind the scenes nonsense.
No, go ahead, tell us. No, we like this. Believe me, this is why I get into all.
Buddy.
We just talked about the distribution thing with Penguin and Diamond.
Oh,
so this
holy shit!
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, so it took a dip, but we're sort of hoping. Thing's only 5 issues long. We're sort of hoping for like that. I call it like the Gen 13 bump, where it's just like after issue 2, it's just like, oh shit, this is a thing. Maybe we should order a couple more. So
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this too. And I don't know. I mean, it's not usually in the pony market, but in some of the other markets, especially this, you'll get to see the second print market really take off with some of the covers that go through. And so I know I'm just going to tell you, I hope you're prepping for the cover for number 2 for your second print, because I like what you guys did. I'm a big proponent of coming up with different art for the second print, not regurgitating same stuff.
We sent them like a mock-up of just taking that first issue cover and changing the color from like red to like a blue glow or something, and they were like, yeah, people like original art. And we had that second printing art. It was like a promo poster that we sent to stores. So luckily, like that was set. We could just knock it all together. We sort of like, knock on wood, put together. We were like penciled up an issue 2 second printing. So if they email us and say we need one, then we're good to go. But if they don't, then we'll just have it penciled up, And
then you can sell it on your site. We'll buy it, or you could just show us real quickly. That's all right. We'll do that too. And then you guys. So what's up? So you guys decided to go with the horror covers too, which I know that's an Image thing. Like they did the rap covers or the rap movies, and then they've done a couple other ones too on that. So was that something of your making, or was it just like?
That was a retailer friend of mine had said like, hey, like Bitterroot and some of these other books are doing these horror covers and they're selling great for us, or not horror, like movie covers.
Yeah, they're doing the movie covers. Yeah, the hip hop ones for Bitterroot.
And I was like sort of iffy about it just because that's my favorite.
That was the hardest one. Dude, that took us the longest time to figure out what this one was.
Yeah, man. Very obscure. I was sort of on the fence about it because I was just like, I don't like, it's its own thing. I want it to stand for itself. I want people to just be like, oh, this is the book, and it stands on its own. But Image, when I was talking to them, was just like, well, the thing about this specific case is if you do these horror covers, when people see it, they'll immediately see that it looks like a cartoon thing, but it's a horror thing. Like it's sort of like a visual shorthand that just says this is exactly what this is. And people have really dug those covers. So
plus, I think you double up. So like I read the A cover and then I keep the B cover. I keep the movie cover. You know what I mean? So I think you get that double buyout on that too. And then our friends at Hive Comic, actually, that's the first time we really talked about your book, even before it went on sale. They had done that last one, the Blair Witch one. Yeah. And I mean, just showing the Blair Witch cover, people were buying it, not even knowing what the book were. So I think it worked for you. I mean, hey, tell your friend, go buy him a Starbucks or a pair of Nordstrom rack pants, whatever you guys do over there, and get that to work. So
yeah. When cons come back, I'm gonna have to take those Image folks to lunch because I feel like it definitely has sold us some books. I wish we would have kept doing blank covers. That sold like crazy on issue 1.
The blank
and
cover.
Then on issue 2, it's just like, oh, we don't get that blank cover money anymore. What a bizarre. We sold like 3,000 of that thing. Who needs that? God bless.
Yeah. That seems like something that would be easy to reprint. I don't know. Maybe 5's not out yet. I know you finished it, but maybe you can just get the blank back for 5 or something like that. Especially with con. We were just talking about how they're opening cons back up. So I don't know.
Did you just hear about San Diego on Thanksgiving?
We were talking about that. Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I mean, absolutely not. He says, absolutely not. Not maybe. Not I'm interested. That was just straight out. Absolutely nope. Nope.
I mean, even regular Thanksgiving, I would be scared about. San Diego on Thanksgiving is way too. I would be fascinated by then, and I'm still just like.
I was kind of saying, like, I hadn't been to San Diego, so I'm from the Midwest, and I haven't been to San Diego in. I was thinking 5 years, but it's almost been a decade now. Just because like the crowds, it's too much for me. Before all this, I didn't like. It smells bad, and yeah. So it's too many people bumping you. So, but yeah, definitely not Thanksgiving and smaller areas. It's not something
I love it under normal circumstances. Like I love going down there. It's one of the shows that I don't set up at. I just go and sort of mix it up and chat with people and stuff. And so, as soon as it comes back to like the regular thing, I feel like I'm down for it. But yeah, also my mom would be furious. If I haven't been home in 2 years and I'm just like, sorry about Thanksgiving, but I'm going to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
You got to go 0 Dark 30 on all the Twitter and it's, the IGs. I'm not good at that stuff, but like, I'm telling you, you just let it go for 2 days and sneak in there and sneak out. Plus you probably get in, right? Like people, you're pretty famous. You get on there, you can get in the back door. You can do that type of stuff. Sneak in, sneak out.
I don't know if I call myself famous, but I can get into Comic-Con okay.
You're a big fan in this household because of some of the other works you've done. You're a pretty big fan in this household, especially with Pony and Transformers. So
where are you at in the Midwest?
I live in the great state of Michigan.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I used to live in Colorado and South Dakota.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Little Midwest. Would you say, Kyle?
I said, and then me and Matt and Solo all live in the Phoenix area.
Oh, okay, so you're close. I'm in LA,
but I'm from Colorado.
Oh, where at?
Fort Collins.
Okay, I could tell by your beer that you're from Fort Collins.
Well, we got a few mountain men up there.
Yeah,
they're either hairy cowboys or well-groomed mountain men. I lean towards the well-groomed mountain man.
Yeah, it's well put together beard. It's not a mess.
Yeah, thank you.
So can you?
But I do have a question, though. What made you come up with the concept of this book? Like, did you wake up out of a cold, deep sleep after watching a Brad Pitt movie going, damn it, I need to make a serial killer movie with dogs?
What if it was dogs? Well, I sort of will pass over ideas I'll have if they don't feel specific to me. Like, it takes me so long to make comics that aren't just like, My Little Pony or Transformers or whatever. That if I'm going to dive in and do something, I have to feel like I have a real take on it, or like it's something that, I'm sure somebody else could have maybe done this, but it feels pretty specific to my interests and my sort of like specific vibe. Because I love horror movies and I've always loved animation. But the way that the idea came about was I was standing on the back of a toilet hanging a clock. And I fell off.
Yes, he's definitely. He's made for mayhem, bro. He's made for mayhem.
Number one.
Exactly. No, I was watching Bates Motel, like season 2, I think, and I got up to go to the bathroom. And when I came back, Norman Bates had a little puppy with him, and I was just like, "Where did this puppy come from?" And my friends, this was when we used to have a studio. Now since COVID, we don't, but. I was like, where'd this puppy come from? Did he kill somebody and take their dog? And they were like, no, he did not do that. And I was like, oh.
That's a great idea.
That would be cool. That'd be cool, though.
Hey, I think I'm on to something. No, that's awesome. That was such a good run in series, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even finish it because at that point I was just like, whatever else they do, I don't want to know about it until I get this thing all out of my head. So I got to dip back in and finish. But I had that idea, like a serial killer that takes his victims' dogs, and I sat and pondered about like what the story is, like what's that about. And again, like it didn't totally click in for me until I realized that like I didn't want to tell it about cops and I didn't want to tell it about a murderer. But I could, because I draw animals already, and like I already tell stories about animals. And so my head easily slid to the place where it was just like, oh, this could just be about the dogs. And then once I got that figured out, then it all just sort of came flying out. Like the story came pouring out pretty quick.
That's awesome. That's cool. I like that.
So you do know, because somebody just said they have 3 blank covers. You do know when you go back to cons, like you already got in your head what you're going to draw on some of these covers, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I've got my quickie dogs figured out. You know, the freebie dog sketch for sure. And then
Phoenix, where you just put Kyle as number 1 on the top of your list.
Oh, I thought you just wanted me to write Kyle on a blank cover. That's easy. No problem.
Hey, if you do that, I'll laugh. I'll pay extra for that.
You can do that too. You can write to Kyle, your friend, Tony.
You remember me from the podcast.
Just make sure you have a CGC grader behind you when that happens.
Yeah.
So are you going to keep this at a 5-issue miniseries, or do you have in the works for maybe a volume 2 with the success of the book?
Because we've heard some news too, maybe about an animation going on.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a volume 2. It's a pretty tightly constructed story. Like when it's over, it's over. You'll just be like, oh, that's it. You know, like they all die. All the dogs are.
All the dogs die.
Spoiler alert! Don't worry about it. We have a drinking game on this show, so they won't remember tomorrow, anyways.
All the dogs go.
You die, she dies, everybody dies.
Now, when it's like
come out with an issue 5, that's how we end it.
Surprise! Yeah, it's like Walking Dead. We solicited that as a joke. No, at the end of 5, like it's a complete story, but. We're doing, so 5 comes out in June, and then in August we're doing a free comic book day, which is don't look
at the comments, whatever you do,
which is issue 1, but then with a new prologue that's sort of like, if you've read the whole thing, you'll read the prologue and you'll get it, and if you haven't read the whole thing, it'll be like sort of another piece of the mystery, you know, like another question that's asked that gets answered throughout the thing. And then we're pretty sure, I think Image is down. We're going to do a one shot after. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, free comic book day in August. Trade comes out, I think, in September, October. Mm-hmm. And then after that, towards the end of the year, we're going to try and do a one shot that's sort of just like, there's 11 dogs in the book. And because of the way that the plot goes, we don't really get to focus on all of them for like like a few of them get like the real moment, but some of them I feel like people would get into and want to know a little bit more about. And so we're going to do sort of like we're calling it like Dog Days, where it's just sort of like short stories focusing on some of these other dogs. Sometimes when they're in the master's house, sometimes like before they went to the master's house, but sort of all of them just like short little vignettes that'll sort of be the vibe of the book, where it's cute and it's terrifying and, you know, just sort of small little things.
That'll be awesome.
Backtrack and show how everybody got abducted and how everybody got killed and how all dogs were, you know, like make one so they, you know, like they didn't go to the dog park on this one. Maybe they was at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like that'd be kind of cool.
Well, that's totally, I mean, that's how the book goes. Like the flashbacks as a motif carry on, and we sort of see how a few more of these dogs ended up in the house as
that's cool. So like we're just gonna spoil it here for those people that haven't read it yet. The dog at the end of this book is number 2. We're gonna see the flashback. We're gonna see the flashback on the next one. Is it gonna progressively? So it does seem a little darker. Number 2 seems a little bit darker. You know, you get there's an abuse of a dog in this one a little bit, right? And there's you know, a couple of little finer points there.
The dog gets kicked off panel for sure.
Yeah. And then something's wrong with his leg. Something's wrong with his leg after he comes out of the hot box.
That's so good though, because it really makes you hate the villain. I mean, that's the kind of stuff.
I mean, him walking around in whitey tighties didn't make you hate him. It was
that's what made me hate him.
Dude, animal abuse is not. I don't take lightly to it, man.
I mean, I can't believe you put in
on that. And so I get it, it's out there, but to see that little excerpt like that, man, that puts the anger in me. That's like, oh, I hate this guy. This is a bad dude.
Did you get kickback from that? And how hard was it? Because you must own pets, right? Like you do. Is that something you thought about? I know that a lot of pet owners try to stay away from that, and it's very
100%. I have friends that I have good friends that I'm just like, I don't know if this book is going to be for you. And it's not because it's like some horrifying, dog, like dogs aren't being like vivisected or, it doesn't turn into Saw for dogs, but it's a horror movie starring dogs. So, and one of the main questions, it's a horror comic starring dogs, but one of the main questions that people would ask is just like, well, does anything happen to the dogs? And I can't answer because like, what am I going to say? Like, they're all okay. Don't worry about it. Like that, right. They're in peril. That's what the story is, Yeah.
Just don't let any of them answer the phone.
Yeah. I want to pitch you idea. Guinea pigs.
I could. So
he just lit up to that.
He just carved a niche. Every animal, just a murder mystery involving every different type of animal.
It sounds like we're going to talk about it later, but we sold this thing to Paramount, and in the contract, we had to specifically say like what it is that they're buying. Yeah. And so I can do it, but they would just own it automatically. Oh. Any other books that are stray and animal, and then it's about animals who are the victims of crimes. So like, it's just like this very specific wording in the contract that's like any other property where animals are in danger because their owners are murdered, or like very specific wording. But yeah.
Killing everybody for his guinea pig.
Yeah, you could do John Wick hamsters or gerbils, right? We can get that. We can get it. That's what you just said.
I think that might be too close. There's a lot of things where people suggest it, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea. They would just own it already before I even drew it.
So that's different too, because you like you said, you and Trish now are kind of partners in this compared to your 9-to-5s where you're doing ponies and you did some Star Wars work too. You did adventures. Me and Solowookkie do a little Star Wars show that's not really that good, but we like it. And so we know some of your work from that too. But yeah, it's got to be a different now because you guys are in charge of it. And then you did this thing with Paramount where is it true you're doing, because we don't know what rumors to believe anymore. Everybody's optioned and everybody's going to come out with something. So would you mind talking about that for a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I'm an open book. If it's in the news, I can talk about it. It's we optioned it to Paramount, and they have an 18-month option, and so they're developing it right now. One of my best friends is the screenwriter who wrote Stephen King's It and It Chapter 2 and Annabelle and a bunch of other stuff. Man. Oh, yeah. And when I was first coming up with the idea, I pitched it to him just as like, here's this cool horror thing I'm working on. And he was super in love with it because he's also a dog person. And so he went and pitched it to Paramount and a bunch of other places, but Paramount's the one that bought it. And so he's producing it. And Mark Perez, who wrote the movie Game Night, I don't know if you guys saw that. He's writing it right now, and they've done a couple treatments, and the studio likes them. And so it's just a matter of like, if they decide to make it, that's sort of just like they've got like 18 months to decide if they're going to make it. So that's where that is right now.
So what the whole chat heard was you have a great buddy who's helping out option that, and it's going to be made within the next 18 months. Yes. Okay, so that's what we all heard right there.
Like, did you have to sit down with like Paramount people, and say, "Hey, I have this really cool book." You know what I mean? Like, what was that like? I know Solo's really used to sitting in boardrooms, but like,
I was just gonna say, was it a boardroom? Did you go in and there's like people in the boardroom and?
But what was it like sitting down? Was it scary? Was it like you're like, fuck these dudes? Like, was it like...
No, I'm just sort of team comics. Like, I just make the comics, and so I didn't go into the boardrooms at all. I sent my comic to them, the same one that I took to Comics Pro and gave to people. I sent that to my manager and to Gary, and who wrote It and It Too, my buddy. And then they just sent him around to the studios, and then they just handled all that. I would be there for questions and stuff, and like they would call me up and just be like, "Hey, what if we put a person in this?" And I would just be like, here's why I didn't do it in the story. Your mileage may vary, but there's sort of that Raymond Chandler thing about where they asked him, how they ruined your book. Doesn't that suck? And he's like, no, my book's right there on the shelf. They can't ruin it. And that's sort of
that's good.
I don't think that the team that's working on this, I don't think they'll ruin it. But I've spent so much of my life figuring out how to be good at making comics that I just sort of want to do that. And the thing with optioning it is that it gives us a little bit of room to run and work on our own stuff and make more of our own comics because we got a little bit of extra money. So hopefully I can just do that. I would be very happy to just be able to keep making comics, and every once in a while somebody buys them. Somebody in Hollywood buys them and gives me a big chunk of money, and then I can just keep making comics. That seems to be like how you have to do it.
Right.
I don't know. Or
guinea pigs is the next big thing, man. I'm
they already
in right now.
I can't do guinea pigs. It's just be a gift to them.
You should do. Here, I got a plot for you. Don't tell anybody. It's just us.
Okay.
It's ninja guinea pigs.
What if
that was already a cartoon? I think, bro.
I think
that was a cartoon.
I'm just totally messing with you.
No, I really think it was either hamsters or guinea pigs, but I think that already happened.
It was adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters.
Yes.
I got a question. What you sound like you've got quite the background in comic books and growing up and everything. What was some of your inspiration? Like, here's my confusion in my question. I can see you collecting Looney Tunes and writing really good horror. Where did your balance come from? Because your art and your style of storytelling, they're almost a little convoluted, but they blend together perfectly. You know what I mean? Like it sounds, you're not like me. You have that Looney Tunes affliction, but at the same note, you like that good, deep, scary in there.
God bless you if you're a lot like Solowookkie.
Well, just for the record, I don't draw the stray dogs, but it looks, Trish's style is not far off from what my style is. And being somebody who draws cartoony, I have sort of like an insecurity, or like if somebody says I can't do something, I'm just like, fuck you, I can. Do
it now, watch, right?
Yeah, that's what I draw mainly. But so when I had this idea, and what I talked about earlier about having it be something that was specifically from my point of view or from my voice, it was just like, well, I know I can tell a horror story with this type of visuals. And this is just sort of like the proof for that concept, I guess,
Sure.
Just because of the what I put in and and the ideas that I have, and just sort of like whatever the chemistry is, that's my whatever, that sounded like something an asshole would say.
You're perfect. I get it. What comics and stuff got you into it when you were younger? What were you collecting and buying that kind of led you this way?
Or what were you drawing when you were younger too?
Yeah, and what were you drawing?
Well, I was always drawing what would be my Disney cartoon, or these are the characters that would be in my sort of if there's a Disney cartoon that's set in the city, these would be the people that would be in it. That's what I was always doing. I love, I'm 41 years old, and so I was growing up reading comics. When Image blew up, that was sort of my golden era. And so for a minute, right when I was just a kid, when I was just hitting puberty, all these crazy masculine, super jacked dudes with enormous guns and girls with
pouches,
thick breasts and no clothes. Yeah. It was just it was like drugs. It was just you read this and I just was shaking. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. And so that was what really hooked me into comics, was Image Comics. But then soon after there, as I sort of went to school and read books in English class and got smarter, because to be fair, the Image comics weren't like literature, I guess. But as I started to read, like the stuff that they make you read in high school, and it sort of develops your brain a little bit, that's when Straight Bullets came out. And that was real formative for me. And Strangers in Paradise was at the exact same time as that too. And both of those were like just sort of like the two sides of like indie comics that hit me. One was like very nihilistic and dark, and one was just very sweet and like conversational. And I feel like both of those were pretty formative in like what I would want to do when I would come to make my own comics.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Cool. Do you want a Jordache Jean commercial too, or is that Levi Button Up? Is that your goal?
Levi's 501.
Yeah, Levi's 501. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Spike Lee, come on.
So was it kind of surreal for you optioning and having this option picked up before the first issue even came out? Like what kind of drove that? Because usually you don't hear about that. You don't hear about the book being optioned before it's even been out. What kind of drove all that?
Well, yeah, it happens more and more these days, but it definitely was weird. The reasoning for it is because Trish, who draws the book, still has a full-time job. Like she works in real estate. She just has like a square job. And so we've been working on this book since the end of 2018. And so we had an issue done and printed. We printed up a preview copy to take to retailers at Comics Pro. And so my manager at that point and my buddy who like the screenwriter was just like, well, we can just take this around now, like why wait? And it was right at the beginning of COVID. And so there was a moment there, which I think is probably still going on, where just all of a sudden animation opened up. Like people can't go to film stuff in person because of COVID. And so all these things that are animated just started getting greenlit left and right. And so during that time, that's when they were out there meeting with these companies. And so it just sort of worked out that like we had an issue that we could show people, proof of concept, this is what this thing is. And the whole thing has been written and like plotted out so that they could tell them like, this is what happens in the end. This is what happens at the climax. And so, yeah, they just sort of did that while we were putting together the book. So I think we were putting together issue 3 when they were like, yeah, we sold it. And it is weird because generally, like, if you're cynical, you're just like, oh, they want to make a cartoon, so they made this thing. But it just sort of happened that way because of how long we've been working on the comic,
Yeah. Congratulations, man. No, like,
is it a HBO thing? Is it going to be like?
Well, it's a Paramount, so I guess it would probably be Paramount Plus if movie theaters don't come back. But it's supposed to be like a theatrical.
Oh,
wow!
So are they still going to?
I don't go to the movies, but I'll go to the movies to see that.
I mean, I know you said it's a closed-ended story, but I'm just you got to have something cooking for if it's a hit and they come back to you and say we want more. Because I know I'm sad to hear it's only 5 issues because I read through the first one and I loved it. I told Solowookkie, as a dog person, I was like, dude, you're gonna love this book. Check it out. And he was like, yeah, it's great. And I said the same thing to Kyle. I was like, dude, this book is where it's at. You got it's something fresh and a new idea. You got to check it out. Yeah. And I can't wait for issue 3.
It almost reminds you remember that episode of The Simpsons where they're trying to train Santa's little helper?
Yeah.
So that's a dog. That's what
the dog's butt.
That's kind of what reminded me of how they have their short-term memories and they're like, what am I here for? What's going on? Like that. That's the first thing that popped in my head was that episode of The Simpsons. It's like the first episode of The Simpsons or third or something, but blah blah blah, sit blah blah blah, and the frisbee hits him in the eyes.
That's he's just sitting there.
It's kind of what popped in my head, but I thought that was cool that they're getting these. They're like, they're smelling the scarf, they're seeing the picture, and they're like, holy shit. I do have a different owner, and they don't even, they thought this was their owner. And I'm not a dog person, but is that like the way I see dogs? They don't seem to be that forgetful.
No, I don't think they're that forgetful. That was sort of like a little bit of artistic license. I mean, I read a lot of mean, there's not a ton of research on dog memories, but I read some research on dog memories. And obviously, like, everybody's seen videos of, like, you know, a soldier comes back from overseas after 2 years and his dog is just sitting there waiting, you know, like, so obviously we know that they remember people, but I, at the same time, was just like, I wonder if that dog, like, it definitely didn't every day think about that soldier, right? Like, maybe,
Yeah.
you know? But it came from me and my dogs and how long it takes them to figure stuff out. You know, like, they're not stupid, but like every day, every time we go on a walk, they'll try and go left when we never go left. You know, it's just, we don't go over there. You know, we go over here. We don't go in that yard. We don't like that guy. We stay away from that yard, you know?
I don't know. The book is great. I think it's very imaginative. I think it's very different.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you took it with the thought of, you know what, this is a great, it's easy to read and it's fun. That's what makes reading comics awesome, is when it's just a fun read, when you don't have to, like, you don't always, you know what I mean? Like, we live in this world where we have to think so much, where we can just sit and enjoy a book.
Good art.
And I think that's where you nailed it.
It's really good art. And that's something I want to bring up too, is like, when they do, if they do make this into a motion picture, which it sounds like they're going to, but like, are you going to be disappointed if they don't use that 90s art style that you have there? Because it's kind of like something we haven't seen in a while. It's really cool what they're doing. I'm not an artist. I can't explain it. I can just say that I enjoy looking at the pictures in the funny books. So
I don't know if I'll be disappointed. I mean, the reason we drew it like that, besides just like that's how it looked inside of our heads, but if we would even, like, neither of us thought that this thing would be a movie, you know, like, or anything, because it's so bizarre. Like, we didn't know COVID was going to come and shut down production and make it so they start making R-rated cartoons and stuff, you know, like, who knew? So we were just like, well, let's just draw it like as if Disney or Don Bluth made a horror movie, because even if they did make a movie, they'll just do it like, you know, A Dog's Purpose or something, you know, like they'll just do Call of the Wild. It'll just be a CGI dogs and Harrison Ford or whatever. And then, you know, it'll look like
Ford.
Do you have an idea of who you want to, like, when you were writing this, is there a certain person in your head that you would think would match these voices?
Apparently somebody big, because he's already got Harrison Ford being the
I know,
lead.
right?
I'll get it, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just want it to be as successful as humanly possible so that I can keep making comics.
Yeah, we hope so too.
So like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie or whatever people go by, you know.
John Malkovich, that's who he wants to be the bad guy.
No.
John Malkovich. That's it.
A superstar.
I will voice a dog for free. I have wanted to voice
No, he said a
animation
superstar,
characters
Solo. Get
forever.
out of here.
Not a YouTube.
Even if it's only 2 sentences.
I will voice a dog. I will voice a dog, but I won't be doing it for free. I'm sorry.
I'll do it for free.
I'll have my people reach out to your people to get it going.
I absolutely love Trisha's artwork in it. I think it's spot on. She was on our channel and did an interview with the Comic Book Women. Yeah, go check that out. That's another great interview. And that was a couple weeks ago. I loved it. I thought she had some great points that she brought up and made and talked about. Just a fun interview. Is there any place that we can find you guys, and you in particular, Instagram, anywhere?
Oh yeah, we're both on Twitter and Instagram at Tony Fleecs and at Trish Forstner. Just we have weird names, so it's easy to find us. We're the only ones. And then we both have, like, if you just Google us, there's a TonyFleecs.com. It's not really a portfolio site. It's just like where I sell original art from ponies and Transformers and Star Wars and stuff.
Oh, nice.
There's no Stray Dogs original art because we did it all digitally.
Speaking of Pony and Transformers, you got Pony and Transformers 2 coming up. That is Pony and Transformers 1 is obviously saw it there. I have 4 copies. I have a bunch of kids, and they love that book. They absolutely love it. So I'm keeping a couple copies good for them. But Pony and Transformers 2, they were excited about it. They said, Dad, we need more of these books. And I said, sorry. It's the same story. And then the previews came out with that. So they're very excited. Good to see that you're going to be doing a lot of the work on that. But what other projects do you have coming up besides that?
Well, right now, basically like everything I've been working on for the last few months is all sort of coming out at the same time. So Rick and Morty Worlds Apart is a Oni miniseries, a 4-issue thing that I drew. And it's written by a guy named Josh Trujillo. And it's also drawn by this guy, Jarrett Williams. And so it's a story where Rick and Morty split off. Thank you. They split off, and Rick goes on an adventure, and Morty goes on an adventure, and Morty has his other grandfather with him, who's like he's in like a throuple, and so like his wife and their boyfriend are off on like a cruise, but he gets seasick, so him and Morty just go off on this other adventure together. And so I drew that part of the story, and then Jarrett Williams drew the Rick story. And so it's just sort of like they split off and then they come back together in the end. So that's coming out right now. Issue 2's in stores. And then I drew 2 issues of My Little Pony, the main series, that'll come out, I think, within the next couple of weeks.
That's the cat stuff, right? You're doing the cats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's these cats from the movie. Hey, it's a dog. I can't remember who played the cat.
He's a fan of your book too. He just wanted to voice that.
I knew I could get comic book people who were also dog people with this thing. I was like, it probably won't fail as long as people still like dogs by the time it comes out.
So out of the 5 issues, which is the best? Like, which is like the one, not the best one, but the one's like, this is the one that you, oh my God, if you've read 1 and 2, this is the one that you have to read.
4 is Psycho. Like, 4, like, issue 2 is the one that I was just like, I hope people keep reading after this one because it's just sort of like a continuation of the story, you know? It has a cliffhanger, but it's not like, it's just like, oh, no. You know, it's sort of like a soft, at least that's what I thought. And then people are reading it and they're just like, oh, no. So that's going well, I guess. Like the reaction to it has been good. But 3 has a crazy ending and has like it's got like scares all through it. And then 4 is like, 4 is the way I've sort of explained it is like 1 is the setup, 2 is like building a mystery, 3 the stakes get raised and it's like scary and the stakes get raised. Then 4 is a straight horror movie, and then 5 is like your Image Comics action scene where it's just like full on pandemonium. So it's building like it definitely. Every issue will sort of ratchet up the tension, but 4, it's getting colored right now, and every time a page comes in, I'm just like, this is great. I'm very psyched about it. And then 5, we're about halfway through drawing, and then the Free Comic Book Day sort of was a surprise, like we didn't know we were going to do that, and so that one we're finishing up the artwork on tonight. So and then so let's go to colors.
Oh, so we're holding it up. Nice.
I'm holding it up. I'm so invested in getting people to read this book that like I go on every podcast. No offense to you guys, of course.
No, we like it. We'll take it.
Oh, it's all right for number 80.
No, we get it. We understand.
I'm a regular on the show 11 O'Clock Comics, and they're just like, we don't want to have you on if you're just going to go on every other show. Why do they even want to hear from you on here? And I'm like, I gotta go talk to these people. I gotta reach these, these other audiences.
Hey, we're not our first choice either.
So, number 8, and you know what? We've got a person in here. He hates listening to us anyway. No, I'm just joking.
I didn't say hate. I said it's not my favorite show. That's all I said. It's not my favorite show.
We appreciate you coming on, even if we are your 82nd pick.
No, I'm serious. Like I do a bunch of these shows. I'm having a great time. If you guys want to have me back, like if you read issue 3 and you're just like, fuck that guy, we got to have him back in here and yell at him.
Oh, no. We review. Hey, we're actually, when you leave, we're going to review your number 2 later too. So we review all your stuff. But real quickly before you go, I heard that you have a new concept that you might still be working on. And I thought it was kind of cool for a new book. And that's why I was kind of hitting at. I mean, I know my kids like the Transformers and the ponies, but the shop, the one where you go back in time and you buy the stuff real quickly.
Oh, yeah. Time Shopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I'd love to. So Time Shopper is a book it's finished. We're sort of.
So we're gonna get free previews of this book. You're gonna send them to us.
I'll send you a PDF tonight if you like. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, we'll take it. Absolutely.
But it's a story about a guy that gets a job traveling in time, and he's supposed to go fix history's biggest disasters. Like they're just like, we got time travel. We're going to send you back and warn the Titanic about the iceberg and warn JFK, like fix all these horrible disasters. And they give him money, they're just like, here, just because you might need to buy provisions or whatever. It's all sort of based on that scene in Back to the Future 2 where Doc gives Marty that suitcase full of money. Like I saw that as a kid and was just like, oh, what's going on here? And so the guy gets back in time and instead of fixing all the stuff that he's supposed to fix, he just goes and buys stuff for cheap in olden times because like that's what I would do. So
right? That's awesome.
Yeah. So instead of like going to kill baby Hitler, he's just like, wait, German chocolate costs how much? That's incredible. I'll take all of it.
That is so what I do.
I have thought of this before. This is why I like it. I'm like, what would why would I do that? Because they would change like all the good things that happened. So if I had to go back there and they sent me back there, then I'd probably do this instead. I'm hook, line, and sinker, bro.
It's definitely wish fulfillment.
If I could go back, I would definitely do the same thing. I would go to concerts and I would go buy cheap stuff back then, like cars and comics and everything else. And especially concerts because you can't see them ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely wish fulfillment.
You can have a comic about gerbils that go to see they go back in time to watch concerts.
Bro, what's up with the gerbils? What's going on?
I have guinea pigs. That's the only pets I ever own. Is my fan? We're a guinea pig family, I guess. So I always have to talk about guinea pigs.
We're guinea pig people. But yeah, so that was going to be from a small press publisher at the end of last year. It was supposed to come out, but there was some hiccups with the publisher, and then COVID sort of shut everything down. Like it was going to be printed in China, and China got shut down, and then. Also, the orders were dismal, just because like the retail or the publisher had priced it wrong, and it was a whole mess. So anyway, we got the rights back, and we're just going to kickstart it and do it ourselves and do it as like a European format hardcover, like a one shot European format hardcover. It's me, arts by this guy Christian Misi, who's a buddy of mine, who's a caricature artist from St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the like historical people that you see in it are these hilarious little caricatures, like you run into like a
like it's Bill and Ted, right? We're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm totally blank to anything having to do with history, or the book that I've already written.
Yeah.
So when does the Kickstarter start off? Like when are we doing this?
We're putting it together, and it's going to probably coincide with the end of Stray Dogs, which is going to be weird because it is like this completely different vibe. But I figure that's when people will probably be paying the most attention as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to do it then, and we're doing this cool thing with the Kickstarter where, as well as getting the book, it's like the regular thing where you can just get a PDF for hardly nothing, and then for the hardcover like $20, and then we're also doing this thing where you can get Carl's his name. You can get like Carl's time shopping bag, and he'll have bought stuff while traveling in time that you can get from him, in the thing. And so it's cool. Stuff like a Mickey Mantle card, but like Carl's in the background of the Mickey Mantle card, or like an Action Comics #1 with Carl's on the cover of it with Superman. As well as some other stuff we're doing, like I don't want to like spoil it all, but
don't spoil it all. No. Here, how about this? We're gonna have you back in a month to review 3. Then you're gonna for sure guarantee when you get the Kickstarter going, get back on here. We'll go over all the stuff because I'm in. You got my money.
I
cool
too.
Here,
you got my money.
money.
Yep, you got it. What do you need? I got the black card. I'll give it to you.
You guys feel free to hit me up too after this. I can just send you a PDF if you just want to read it this way.
Absolutely.
Yes,
we will. 100%. Dude, that's cool, man. You got some good stuff. I really am a fan. I mean, I obviously am a fan, and not just because it makes it easy for me to relate to my kids. Kids always don't like what you like, and when you can get Transformer and ponies, because I have twins, like, and they fight about everything. And to have those two combination together, I know you did some work, like especially some interiors on that, and now coming up with the second one, you really are helping out in this household. And then the guy's named Solowookkie, and we do a show together, so you can imagine it's about Star Wars. So we cover it all. I know they're telling us that
one with the Tauntaun.
What's that? Yeah, yours with the Tauntaun, the adventures where you did the 3-part, and then you did the droid thing, right? You did that. Yeah.
The one with Lando and Chewbacca when they were like battle racers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was probably my favorite one because I get to make up these Star Wars ships that were just like, what if you could trick out your favorite Star Wars ships? And so it was just like, I'll just put like a pod racer pod on the back of this thing, or like put laser guns on the bottom of this thing.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Kyle will fall asleep with us talking about Star Wars, but if you ever want to talk about Star Wars, I have another show on this channel. We can do that. But real quickly, you've been to Celebration before, correct? Yeah, dude. How great is Celebration?
I went to a couple times when it was in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Right.
And then I went to a couple times when it was here in LA. And then we went to the Chicago 17. One. I guess
the last one. Yeah. Right? So 19. Yeah. Actually, that's the last one I went to too, and took the kids with it. That was a blast. That one probably. I mean, they just keep outdoing themselves. Yeah, Kyle, I get it. We're talking about Star Wars, and you don't like it, but
that kids comics thing. I always think about that in terms of not my own work. Like whenever I'm working on My Little Pony or Star Wars Adventures or one of these kids comics, I'm just like, this is cool because I want there to be people who read comics, 20 years from now or 30 years from now, or for however long I'm going to live. I need people to read comics.
Absolutely.
But I just got a message from somebody like 2 days ago, and they were like, hey, I'm getting Stray Dogs for my daughter. She's a fan of yours from My Little Pony, but she grew up now because I've been doing it for like 8 years. So, like a kid could have started reading My Little Pony when they're 8, and now they're 16 years old. And she's like, she loves Stray Dogs, and she reads comics because of your comics. The craziest thing I ever heard, I never expected it to be like a full circle thing at all. I just thought I was sort of shooting readers out there, and they would read somebody else's books.
Yeah, I'm not a brony, and I'm not knocking bronies or whatever they do. Like, I think there's a space for everybody in comics, and I love it. But till I had kids, and then like it does help out. It's cool to like when they want to get engaged. I mean, like you can see behind me, I got a bunch of junk. Like, it just is what it is. So yeah, you too. So to be cool, being cool to your kids, we're not cool to anybody else anymore because of how old we are, right? Like, so to be cool to your kids and have something like that, it just really does help out. So. I mean, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate what you do out there because, like, I like Transformers as growing up. Ponies wasn't exactly my thing, but it gets me something where I can relate to my kids, and I think that's going to be something long lasting there too. And then one day I can show them Stray Dogs and be like, "Hey, look," because I did tell them, I go, "Hey, this book?" I was like, "The guy that drew this picture, I'm talking to him tonight," and they go, "Can we?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's too late for you to stay on. Not the show for you to be on. No, you can't."
So use all sorts of coarse language too. That'd be no good at all.
This show is not one they watch. So, but thanks again.
Yeah, happy to be on. Happy to come back whenever. This is great.
Absolutely, welcome anytime, man. What a delight to have you here, and absolutely, man, always welcome. And
who showed up since I came in here? Adonis and Johnny. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, good to meet you guys too.
So Johnny's our pops guy who's gonna fill us in on the world of awesome pops. Adonis is just
Adonis is a friend. Yeah. Yes, I am. This is like where we all come to hang out and drink, so it's good.
Drinking game.
I didn't bring anything.
Oh, next time you got to. So there's actually, Matt, could you throw it up right now? So we play a drinking game on this show. There's words and stuff like that. We don't actually know what it is. Kyle sets it up all the time. For all you that are out there, we have 92. We were up to about 100 there for a little bit. Make sure you're hitting this code real quickly so you know what the words are and you can play along with us and make fun of us later about it. Hey, Tony, we really do appreciate it. We don't want to keep you on much longer. We definitely want to have you back, though. So
you need to write that free comic book day.
Yeah, I got to go finish that.
But please come on again next month and do Stray Dogs 3 with us and tell us about any other cool shit you have coming up.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm excited to tune back in later and see what you said about it, too. You better, feel free to rip it up if you want, but hopefully you're nice.
We're not going to, but like if there's some pictures that you're like, how'd you get those? Don't worry about it. All right, brother. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome anytime, man. Great talking to you.
Good talking to you too.
Fantastic.
Dude, that dude is dope as shit, man.
Dude,
That's
that's
cool as
awesome.
hell, dude.
I could hang out. I was afraid I could hang out and talk to that guy.
I was afraid you were gonna keep talking to that dude.
I was just trying so hard not to, man. I could sit with that cat and just chill all night.
When he makes up about guinea pigs, I hope he writes "Thanks, Kyle."
No, dude, he's gonna be like, "You're creeping me out with your guinea pigs, bro." Thank God you told him that you actually have them. Shit, man. Holy crap!
You're gonna go to the con with that blank cover, and it's gonna say Kyle, and on this corner is gonna be a dog ear, and on this corner is gonna be a dog ear with just a little fold, and that is it. That's your cover. On your blank cover.
He's gonna say, "Thanks, Kyle." It's gonna be a restraining order with because of gerbils in the bottom.
Kyle's gonna be like, "Eric, will you sign my book?" And he's gonna be like, "Actually, I need you to sign this," and slide the restraining order back over to the side.
Adonis, what's going on, my man?
I'm just glad he had a good sense of humor.
Hey, what's
Oh,
up?
dude, he's funny. He's funny.
I came late, but the little bit that I caught was extremely interesting, and it was actually really inspiring. And I came late, and I just caught like a little bit of it, and I am actually really excited to jump into this world.
Dude, Stray Dogs is dope.
Yeah, that was me too.
Have you guys, Johnny? You haven't read it either yet?
I have not.
Man, it is like I always criticize these guys for their read list. I'm like, why are we reading this? Can't we read something I'd enjoy? And that was the book there.
And then he comes on the show and lies to you and says, "Look, I pitched better books." He doesn't pitch anything. He poo-poos what we pitch, and he doesn't pitch anything.
No, I do pitch stuff.
When he comes in here and lies to you and says, "I followed the rules," or "I asked about
I
this
pitch
book."
stuff. You guys just are like, that's boring. Go take it someplace else. You already have a Star Wars show. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Marvel. That's what you guys say all the time. That's what you say all the time. But no, that Stray Dogs was good. I mean, it was good. And the art was great on it, and it did throw me off in the beginning. Like, I didn't catch the one thing, and you guys got to do what you normally do and made fun of me about it, so that's good.
I'm glad that you admitted to the writer that you didn't understand his scarf.
I didn't. No, I missed it, bro.
I know. I'm just glad that you admitted it. Admittance is the first step.
It's on the YouTubes, bro. It's there. You see me go, damn, like it clicks in the middle of it.
So it was a great issue, everybody. I mean, go pick it up.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
I was actually going to pick it up today, and I saw it, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just pause on this real quick. I know we're going to talk to him tonight. Let me see what else is going on. See if this is the route that I want to take. And yeah, definitely, I have to cop those immediately.
Absolutely. Great. It's great stuff, man. I definitely think you should pick it up, especially if you like collecting those horror covers. Those horror covers are where it's at.
Yeah. That's what that Silence of the Lamb cover really caught my attention.
I'm a fan of the Friday the 13th one. I believe that's issue 5. I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but I can't wait for that one. But
great.
From the world of Stray Dogs to the world of Pops, what's going on in your collecting world there, Johnny?
Nothing much. It's busiest time of the year for me, actually. So I'm getting pulled in all directions in the pop world, also the action figure world, because I'm not isolated to just pops. I just, regardless of how my set looks, I collect a little bit of everything. But this is
it tells you. Besides the Saints, it looks like you collect pops. No, I'm just like.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a huge Saints fan. We had a rough go, but we lost Drew Brees this past week, and the future's uncertain. But they're still my team, So, but anyway, talking about pops, it's just that time of year. We just finished up having the Emerald City Comic Con, and that was pretty cool. A lot of exclusives, a lot of shared exclusives came out. This year, I actually stayed away from it. I normally easily end up spending a couple $100 when it comes to the Emerald City Comic Con, and this year I think I spent $40. That's where my interest level was. But I picked up a few of those from that. We have the summer convention coming up. I have a lot of comic pops that I've picked up that I wanted to share with you guys real quick. We want to get into that. But that's about it. I figured bring on the comic pops. It fits right into your programming. So.
Sounds good.
So I got some from the boys. They just released the Boys series, which, of course, based on a comic book, and also it's on Amazon. So they have a new set that just came out, and these are actually pretty freaking awesome. We have a Starlight. I don't know if you guys can see that pretty well here. Yeah, it looks really good. And of course, we got Homelander. Got to have that. Now, there is a Chase or limited edition exclusive Homelander you can get that's from Target only, and he has red eyes, and he's got the burn marks around his pupils. So that one's pretty good, but you can get that at Target. I have not been able to find that yet. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's part of the toy collecting world. We got Queen Maeve. I thought they did a really good job on this one. There's a little bit of a glare there. I do apologize. I got a new light right off here that's just like the sun. We've got Billy Butcher.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this one came out really good. I like that one a lot. We've got A-Train. That one came out pretty solid.
So these all came out where at? These just came out in general? They came out at Emerald City.
These were not part of Emerald City. This is actually a standard stock run. You can go to Hot Topic or say Box Lunch. You can also order them online. They're starting to disappear really fast. So I actually have not seen these out in the stores other than Box Lunch, and they sold out like that. So I went ahead and pre-ordered all these and had them shipped so I wouldn't have to deal with that part of it because I wanted the entire collection. So, yeah, they're really cool. We got Translucent. This one's really awesome looking. He's got the clear body. And then we have an Amazon exclusive Starlight where she's in the hotter outfit, the one that was she didn't want to wear. So that one's pretty cool. And that one's really awesome. And that's an Amazon exclusive. You can go on to Amazon.com and buy that. And I bought two more. And these ones I have specifically for you, Kyle, because I know you are a DC fan. So these two are exclusives as well from a company called BigAppleCollectibles.com, and they ended up getting a exclusive of Brainiac.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a really awesome looking pop, and I love my DC pops. I got to get them all. And then they had another one from Big Apple exclusives. We got Hellbat.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one. That's a really,
these
really
kind of
good
exclusives. Where do you know that they're coming out?
To be honest with you, I follow a site on Instagram called Funko. It's actually called Pop Finders or Funko Finders, and they actually will, if you sign up and you go ahead and subscribe or follow, they will give you alerts on when pops are released. Everything from online to actual street date. And a lot of times, especially on Funko Finders, they'll actually put all the links in their actual Instagram. So you can just go on them, click on them specifically, and they'll have the links on there, and you can order right from there if they're available. And I use that loosely because Target just had a launch yesterday, which they had these brand new Blacklight Marvel pops. This is actually their second wave. They did this last year. They got a new wave that went live yesterday for pre-order, and the pre-orders sold out in under 3 minutes.
Wow.
So that was rough. So so it's now that they're still going to hit this. They're still going to have a street date. They got a street date of May 2nd, and of course I'll be just like everybody else. I'm going to go get up in the morning, wait in line, and press my luck. I was really hoping to get in on a pre-order, but I lost on that one. So this is the time of year where it gets really tough, especially with exclusives, especially now with the market being as competitive as it is with other collectors. It's pretty much a rat race out there. So, but there's so much good stuff coming out. It's crazy. They got a second wave of Umbrella Academy coming out. The first wave was a huge success, as well as, of course, the show. So anytime there's a good show and it's successful, and, of course, pop culture. And I think I discussed this last time with you guys where when Pops first came out, they were comparing Pops to, like, say, Beanie Babies. Well, Beanie Babies didn't have a longevity because they really just had no future. Where with these, that's why they're called Pops. They're pop collectibles. And as long as Hollywood wants to continue to churn out pop media, this company is going to have a avenue to make sales. I mean, they already jumped out. They got a brand new set coming in from the Zack Snyder's Justice League, and they look really, really awesome. And McFarlane Toys jumped on that. He has a brand new line coming out based specifically off that movie. And these figures, I'm telling you, are freaking phenomenal. I've already pre-ordered the entire set, and it wasn't cheap, but I got to have them because the Steppenwolf and the Darkseid figures, they stand this tall. Yeah. They are literally about 11 inches, 12 inches in height.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up, since we last talked to you, unfortunately, I've started hooking my papers right on the old Funko Pop line, and I don't need to buy any more stuff. But
no,
I did see that there is a new Star Wars line coming out of the original concept figures. Yep. What do you know about these, and can you give us a little more information on that?
Okay, the original concept series is strictly just that. For instance, they have a Vader, they have a 3PO, they have a R2-D2. Sorry, Kyle, we're talking Star Wars. They have, of course, Skywalker, which was not Skywalker. He was called Star Killer. Star Killer. So they made a Star Killer pop. He looks phenomenal, but they actually look like, I mean, what it's called, it's the concept series. This is what they were kind of, feeding off of. It's not the finish, what they ended up looking like. So Vader's very
Boba Fett that they did.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. And like the Vader's got very sharp corners in his mask. His lightsaber is actually blue, where it kind of explodes in a ball before the saber comes out. It looks really awesome. I actually have him. I wish I would have known we were going to bring that up. I would have showed him to you. The C-3PO and the R2-D2, I'm not going to lie, concept art, they look goofy as hell. They do not look like what we're used to. They look like tin cans.
Look exactly like the concept art. Same with the Chewbacca, which they ended up making as
Zeb.
Yeah, the gorillas. Yeah, the Chewbacca concept looks like a messed up gremlin. You know what I mean? Just a giant 7-foot gremlin. Well, but it's a cool it's a cool set.
And they put that Yoda in there too, which was, I mean, it's just later version of Smeagol. It just
exactly like when I first looked at it, the first thing I actually thought of was Frank Oz.
Yeah,
I was like, Frank Oz probably looked at this and went, I got something for you. You know what I mean? But he's goofy as all. It's a cool set, and it was one of those sets though that I did actually stay away from, only because I'm actually trying to get smarter. I'm buying for value, of course. I put that not first and foremost, but I also buy for things that I have to have. For a while there, I was just collecting to collect. I was pretty much owning a store. I was becoming a store owner without a store, and I had to stop doing that. You know what I mean? It was putting me in a situation, and it was affecting my pocketbook. And then what I decided to do is I opened an online store, and I started selling pops that I didn't want. And I'm just taking the money from those pops and kicking it back into my habit. So I'm no longer collecting with any money that I actually make.
So you're getting high off your own supply.
Getting high off my own supply, exactly. And I'm trying to be smart. I'm just trying to be smarter about it. And the only figure in that entire set that I had to have was Darth Vader, because the Vader was phenomenal. They did an amazing job with it.
Now, are those hard to get? Did you have to go to the Jungle website to get those, or were they like a Hot Topic exclusive, or were they released all over? I didn't quite get.
They actually came out with the 2020 Galaxy Convention. Okay, they were part of that. So that was the original run. So if you were able to get that set with the actual convention sticker on it, you made out big time, because their value is going to skyrocket. Then they released it as a shared exclusive, and those were shared with mainly Box Lunch. I ended up getting a shared exclusive of the Vader, but I just bought that through another site, a friend of mine who sells on Instagram, and she's just a trusted seller who makes sure that things are wrapped great, nothing's damaged, and she doesn't price gouge. So I bought it from her. I was actually not able to find them on the market till about a couple weeks ago. I actually did find them at Box Lunch at Arrowhead Mall, and they only had Vader and C-3PO and R2-D2. But I wasn't. Yeah, that's a set I didn't want to collect for the whole thing. I just wanted Vader. I do want Starkiller. I just haven't been able to find him.
Nice.
So
nice.
It is what it is. But it's a good set. But there's a lot. There's so much coming out right now. I mean, the Kong versus Godzilla set that's coming out. It's insane. It is awesome. They made a 10-inch Godzilla, and he's breathing the blue fire, and the fire is glow in the dark.
Nice.
So yeah, exactly. It's an exciting time. Every year, it's spring through summertime. I get really excited. But the thing is, I've kicked a lot of my money back into action figures. That's actually where I cut my teeth in collecting, was action figures. The Funko Pop things is a recent thing within the last 15 years. But when I started collecting, I was 15 years old. So I started with action figures, the old Star Wars, the old G.I. Joes. And so I still look at, I'm still an action figure purist. I mean, I'm digging a deep financial hole with action figures right now. I'm pre-ordering like crazy, but these figures are phenomenal,
Yeah.
And being an inbox collector, I'm at a point where I'm really torn. I'm almost having to double buy because I want to take these things out of the box now because they're so fun to look at,
Absolutely.
And as of late, Todd McFarlane, we're talking home run out of the park. Well, he took a break there for a while.
Don't bring up McFarlane. He's gonna get into the fingerless thing again. Give me 3 hours here, Johnny. What are you trying to kill us or what?
No. You want to buy a triple set? I got a box triple set of the Kickstarter Spawn toys, and I'll tell you what, I'll hook a brother up.
I'll take one off your hands. I swear I will. But anyway, he hit a home run, so I'm excited.
They were amazing. I saw a lot of stuff beforehand, being on the Kickstarter early, and I did buy the extra large deluxe full, and I got 2 of them, and they were even far better than I imagined. Once you see them, they're just amazing.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of you because I missed that boat entirely. It was just one of those things that I was just a little too late. So good for you, man. That's awesome.
I got a full set of 3 for sale.
Don't watch that video. Whatever you do, man, it's forever.
I won't go down that rabbit hole.
No, you should. Hey, I just want to shout out some people in chat real quickly. Gonzo, good to see you out there. Stick Boy, it's always fun. Toxic Fanboy, phenomenal. You're absolutely phenomenal because you're phenomenal. And then, hey, shouting out David Samuelson. We appreciate all the comments you've been making, man. We really are watching them, checking them out. Sorry we don't get back to you that quickly, but back to some of this other stuff with Johnny real quickly. Johnny,
that was a phenomenal shout out. You
are phenomenal at shouting out about being phenomenal.
You were phenomenal at public speaking.
Yeah. All right.
Boy was saying
I am not phenomenal.
FYE had a ton of Star Killers at his, so
phenomenal.
Do we even have those here?
Nice.
We don't have
yeah,
those
I was just going to
here.
ask, do we even have the FYEs in Arizona?
There's one at Arizona Mills, but that's the only one I know of now. So, and I live on the west side near like Arrowhead, so I don't get out there very often. But when I do get out there, I always make it a point to walk in there just to look because I'm on that side of town. Sure. But yeah, that's honestly the only FYE that I know of in the state. I'm sure I heard there's one down in Tucson, but I don't go down to Tucson.
Solo said that he's only trading Turok #1s for that Spawn set.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
700 Turok #1s.
Don't say that because people have 700 Turok ones.
Right.
Rob, what's going on, Rob? Oh, man.
So what are the pops to be on the lookout for then in the near future?
Right now, probably the next wave of the Umbrella Academy. There's nothing coming out until like late summer, and it's just a bunch of more comic book stuff. Like I said, they're doing the new Zack Snyder's Justice League pops. Those are on the way. They have more movie pops coming out. I got to the point where I even lost track of it. And a good place for any pop collector that's watching this, if you guys want to, go into any GameStop. And GameStop for free behind the counter has an entire printout of the next pops that are coming out for the entire year, and they'll give you a pack about that thick stapled.
Wow!
But it's on them, and it's a really cool thing that they do, and that you can walk in looking for any pops. They'll say, "Hey, do you want us to special order any for you, or pre-order any for you?" And if you don't, would you like to know what's coming out for the entire year? And right now, the list that they're offering, it's literally about that.
It's a
thing.
binder.
So
they do it with Black Series too. Yeah, that's a good tip, John. They do that with Black Series
How
too.
overwhelming is that?
It's not that bad. It's only like 6 pictures per page too? It's not.
It's not horrible, but I mean, it's still, like I said, it's a nice gesture that they do. And matter of fact, last time I was on your show, I felt bad because I watched the show a couple days later on YouTube, and one of the questions that came up was that, and I didn't answer it. I felt horrible that I didn't even see it. But that was also the first time I ever did this type of forum where I was talking to a bunch of people at once, and so I didn't catch the question, and I promised myself to put that answer out before anyone asks again.
More professional than us. Let's just
it's all right. We don't catch half our questions either. So,
check mark. Better.
Yeah, I felt really bad. It was a reoccurring guy. He kept on popping up, and I'm like, I can't believe I missed that, or was it the beer that missed it? I don't know.
It's like 50-50.
Okay, that's fair enough. I'm doing the wine tonight, so we're all right.
There you go. They get to it eventually. It's funny that book's so like for all you just I think Dennis brought it up too, it is a Pops book, but they do have it for Black Series too. It's not as bad as Kyle makes it out to be. It's very easy, and you can get all your pre-orders. Do they do all the way up to a year ahead of time for pre-orders? They have whatever they have out. I think you could even prepay for it, or you could pay, I can't remember what it is, but the deal is something like you can pay $5 to hold or something.
It's a $5 hold. And I don't do a lot of shopping with them, but I do go in because GameStop gets a lot of Funko Pop exclusives that are strictly only theirs, and that's the game right now with a lot of retailers. They pay a premium to Funko to actually have pops made. For instance, like the one I just showed you with the DC, that company is not a big company. It's essentially a mom and pop company, but they managed to get their very own sticker, their very own exclusive, and they are the only one that will carry this Brainiac figure. So Funko's got their hands into a lot of things right now.
Can you hold the sticker closer?
They did it.
John, could you hold it up?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Things we can see.
There we go. There we go. So you got Big Apple Collectibles, and this company, they just recently went through a management change, so which is a good thing because they were getting a nasty rap there for sending out damaged products and things like that. And as you can tell with this is pristine. So, if this gives them a little plug and maybe people are curious about it. But what I'm getting at is that they actually pay a premium to Funko to get an exclusive that only they can carry. Because of course it only bodes well for their business because you're going to go to them to find this Brainiac and you might buy another 10 pops. I mean, it's simple marketing. Yeah. But the thing is Funko about 6 months from now will go, oh yeah, well, we'll do you one better. We're going to go talk to GameStop and say, hey, GameStop, do you want this same Brainiac? But we'll make them glow in the dark. And then GameStop goes, hell yeah. So now we got our own Brainiac. And and then guess what happens? I go out, I got to have that second Brainiac because I have the first Brainiac. It's stupid. It's stupid.
It's exclusive covers is what it is. I mean, we got the same problem in comic books.
It goes in the fucking dark. I have to have two.
Yeah.
It's same thing with vinyl records. Yeah. Who's got the blue one? Who's got the red one? I mean, it's as a matter of fact, the record I'm spinning right now because I'm getting ready to record an episode tonight. It's a limited edition green translucent. They only made 300 of them. You know what I mean? So if you want the black copy, you can get it for $10. You want this copy, it's going to cost you $300.
Damn.
Same thing. Yep.
Well, if you ever want a record player and a groover, I have one in my garage from 1936.
I think you just need to open up a shop. We need to have like little advertisements that pop up over here just for you. We got McFarland,
Please help. Right. We'll open up a shop and we all have our own tables to sell stuff.
Yeah, like a con.
Oh,
we do.
What do we call it? Con?
Yeah,
like convention.
Great.
Oh man, between all of us, I'm sure we can kill it.
And everyday con.
Yeah, exactly. But I love it. I love it.
Call it what?
Call it a common con.
Common Con?
Comic Con.
Don't worry, everybody. Josh will be here all night.
Hey, I'll be here all night.
That'd be great.
Well, that's awesome. So that's great.
Yeah, but that's all that's going on with me. And the remember I was looking at I brought up to my wife, I said, man, my pre-orders are out of control right now. I mean, I'm not joking, it's out of control. I went on to Target. I went on my Target account and I have literally 15 pre-orders that are just coming in queue, and it's not just one item. I mean, there's a new Kyle asked about Funko Pops to look for. Funko is releasing a Seinfeld series, and it is outstanding. It is outstanding. Oh, they've got Newman, they've got the Soup Nazi, they've got 3 different Jerrys, they've got 3 different Kramers. They got a regular Kramer, they got an Amazon exclusive Kramer where he's just in his underwear. They got a Kramer where he's in a box this big, but he's about that big, and behind him is that big artwork mural that they made for him. You remember the framed art of him? Yeah, and yeah, that I pre-ordered it. I own it already. It's not here yet, but it'll be here in June.
Awesome. Too bad they'll do one pop of George doing the Costanza.
Man, if they put him in the Gore-Tex, it's Gore-Tex. It's Gore-Tex.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be an exclusive. That'll be a Hot Topic exclusive. And a year down the road, it'll cost you $150 if you want to buy it in the second and third market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Seinfeld before, but no.
What?
I've never seen it before.
Listen, you want to know why Marco hasn't seen Star Wars before?
Because he's a busy guy. Because he's fucking busy.
That's why he hasn't seen Star Wars. He's a busy man. He's the only man in the business that's got a family and kids. He can't watch TV. He can't
No. It's because Seinfeld came out while I was out getting snatched while the rest of you are still in your mom's basement. That's why it is.
God.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. I was actually going to ask you about the Target thing because I know out here when we go to Target,
look, you shamed Adonis out of here. Look at you.
I know. Even though they have the release date, yeah, because he didn't want to be lumped in with the rest of you. When you said it was a release date, but I know out here, do you scout to see when they're actually stocking the shelves? Because just because they have a release date, does Pops work on the same way as their other toy stuff?
Yeah, but see, Target. Okay, so they got a release date. Now, Target has a tendency to get themselves in a pickle because what they do is they end up, for instance, they'll have a pre-order date. Now, you can go online, pre-order it, and then they'll have the street date. Now, the street date they tell you is genuine. Okay, for instance, the Blacklight Pops I brought up earlier, they release on May 2nd. That's the actual street date. But then some Target stores, they just get lackadaisical, and they'll put them out, say, on April 28th. And if you walk in, you see them, you're like, score, I kicked ass. And then you go up to the counter and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't sell that to you. That pisses me off more than anything because that's fucking on them. Excuse the French, but that pisses me off. Yeah, because like you take it up to the counter, you're standing there, you got your Visa out, and they're like, oh, sorry, that's street dated. And I'm like, then why the hell did you put it out?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I've had the opposite experience where it's street dated and it's still sitting in the back room, and a week later you can ask them, and if you get a good one, they'll go back there and grab it for you because they haven't.
Oh yeah,
it, you know.
I run into that with Walmart.
Oh, do you?
Like, oh yeah, there's either two things. You got somebody back there who knows what they're worth, and they're freaking hawking it for themselves, which is a good possibility, or they're just lazy, one or the other.
Just steal it.
But I run into Target all the time, and they always accidentally do a pre-release. I can't even tell you how many times I've just like found a pop or figure, and I've taken it up to the the self-checkout, and they're like, oh, why isn't it ringing it up? And then they sit there, and the thing that gets me is they sit there and look at you, and they're like, oh, you can't buy this. And of course, I'm not one to sit there and be like the total dick guy and like, oh, let me talk to your manager, but I will. I'll be like, well, let me talk to who's in charge and find out why it's on the floor. And I luck out about 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, yeah, that was our bad, sir. You can go ahead and buy it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Very rarely will yeah. But still, that as a consumer, to go through all that BS in a store.
Yeah. I just wonder because like how it works with some of the other toys at Target. Like, let's say the like Black Series will have a street date of, let's say, a Monday, whatever Monday's the 1st. So on the 1st, I'll have a street date of that. One Target does stock Sunday night, Monday, so that will hit there. The other Target doesn't stock till Thursday, so they won't have the toys hit the shelves till no matter what. They won't have the toys hit the shelves till Thursday. So,
right. Well, what I learned from Target is Target, no matter what, like for instance, like you just said, they're not stocking till Thursday. If that UPC code shows up on your Target app, I almost said Starbucks app, on your Target app, and you go in there and you say, hey, it says it's available, they'll go look for you, and then they'll be like, oh, our bad, and they'll pull it out because they're obligated as a vendor to that brand to actually street date them. So no matter what, that's on them. So if you go into the store that does the overnight Sunday into Monday, hey, good for you. You got a Target doing their job. If they're just sitting there letting it sit there till Thursday, you can call them out on it and say, hey, because their stock is pretty accurate. Matter of fact, not to beat a dead horse, the McFarlane thing, but McFarlane had a bat cycle that came out. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's fucking awesome. But anyway, the Target near my work on the app said they had it in stock. I went over there, went into the toy aisle. It actually had the actual UPC code and the sticker on the display for it, but nothing there. So I asked someone over in electronics. They said, hey, do you guys have this? The guy scanned it right off my phone. He goes, yep, we got a box in the back. We're just running late. And he goes, we're kind of short staffed right now. I said, okay. I said, how short staffed? 5 minutes short staffed? 2 minutes? And he goes, I'll be right back. He came out and gave me the bat cycle. So you can do that too.
And that's a great, I mean, that goes for anyone listening. I mean, that's a testament to you get more with sugar than shit. Like, be nice to these people, and the nicer you are to these people, the more, helpful you are to these people, you're going to get a lot farther. Your retailers, the people behind the counter, the people stocking the shelves, the workers, the people in the field.
Yeah, and I get and I totally get that, and it gets you nowhere being any other way. To be honest with you, just respect, dignity. Say, hey, it says this. Is this cool? Is this real? And if you're not you're not coming off as a total dick. Guess what? That guy went to the back. He had no problem. He goes, man, I found him. He goes, I get it, man. Life happens. Yeah, absolutely. We got if we were all octopuses, man, we'd be. We don't got five. Yeah.
If I had a clone machine, I'd be a lot more efficient.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
And I if I had a clone, I'd have a lot more pops. I was going to say something really bad, but we're not going to do that. The wine was kicking in there. Let's say if I had a clone, I'd probably have a happier wife.
If I had a clone, I'd be single because I'd have 10 times more shit, and she'd be like, "Get out! I can't take it."
Oh my!
All right, hey, we got what do we got coming up, Matt? What do we have coming up? I don't even know.
I think now we're going to roll into our top 5.
We've had this is back-to-back great guests. This is better than our show's ever been before. Make sure you go down there, give us a thumbs up. The comments are flying out there. We appreciate everybody in the chat. We appreciate Johnny coming out here and giving us the education.
Man,
definitely.
Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. I enjoy this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come on again, definitely. And
I think we have to just keep inviting people on that tell us that this show's good because it's great. Like it gives us new watchers, so it's awesome.
So, did you actually put together a top 5?
You know what? I sat there and I thought about it. I have my number 1, so that's all that matters. Okay. And I can bullshit the rest of the way.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, let's do top 5 then.
Well, since Marco's the one that's out there supposedly body slamming pussy, let's have him go first.
Oh yeah, I'm a married man.
Well, the rest of us watching Seinfeld. He was supposedly just swimming in girls.
I don't know when Seinfeld came out. I didn't watch it. I just I get it. You guys apparently watched a lot of sitcoms because you guys brought up Friends earlier in the meeting in another show I never watched. I just don't think it was in that time frame of sitting in front of TVs, I guess.
I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I missed Friends the first time it was out, and thanks to the invention of streaming, I have a tendency to go back and watch shows. And my wife loves Friends, and I just thought, well, it's going to be a show I definitely, just since she loves it so much, I'm not going to like it. And I've grown past that, and I sat there and went on a mission to watch it. And I'll tell you what, I swear, one of the funniest shows ever in the history of television.
You're like me. My girlfriend is like, Friends. I'm like, you should watch this show. She's like, you need to watch Friends first. And I'm trying to avoid it for as long as I can because everyone talks about
Friends
it.
when it came out. Like, I was one of those. I don't know. I just
Friends and Seinfeld is two of the greatest sitcoms ever created, man.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
It is worthy. It is worthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's your point? You know what I was doing in the 90s then, Patrick? Like, yeah, it was throughout the whole
slamming
90s.
pussy, apparently.
Absolutely. Throughout the 90s, having a good time, not watching
this
TV.
This was Marco the whole time. What's Seinfeld?
You guys are just too much. Sometimes.
I got a fridge right next to me. So
perfect.
There you go.
So let's.
I didn't watch The Office either. I did catch some of Arrested Development though.
While you were
my gosh!
While you were at home watching
Office,
Friends, Marco was Ferris Bueller's Day Offing out a woman's work bedroom.
No, it's funny because people send me all these memes all the time, and they think I like. So I just go ha ha ha, but I have no clue what they mean. There's like some fat guy that sits in an office or something. And
hey man,
he's like
what
half
the hell is
bald.
that about?
Like,
are you fucking talking
why are you
shit
taking
to us?
shots? Yeah,
no, some dude. They sent me these things. It's like either Steve Carell, I know who the guy is, or there's like this dude sitting in a chair in a corner all the time. And he's like, my mechanic says no words good or something. I don't know who the guy is, but funny. Okay, it's funny, I guess. I don't know. I look, I get it. I didn't watch any of these, man.
All right, pussy slammer. Show us your top
what we've
five.
learned here this evening is that Marco's a lover. Bubble baths and the ladies.
Absolutely, man.
He's a snuggler. If you meet Marco out in the streets or at a con, just give Snuggler a big old hug and be like,
Marco follows
me.
You're all right.
Do not touch me. Please do not. Solo, don't say that.
He loves big, tight hugs.
I do not touch me.
He loves it when you come up and
not
touch
touch
his
me.
ass from behind.
Marco follows the 3 B's, man. Bubble baths, babes,
6
and
feet
Barry
apart,
White.
boys. 6 feet apart.
Thank you. Johnny, I appreciate it. Thank you, Johnny.
That's Marco right there.
I hate The Office.
I'm looking out for you, man.
The 3 B's: bubble baths, Barry White, and babes. That's Marco in the 90s.
There you go.
It is what it is.
All
right.
Smells like Brad Pitt. All right, Marco.
All right, show us what a. Since you didn't even watch TV in the 90s,
It's not that I didn't watch. I didn't sit around and watch sitcoms through the 90s. I guess I don't know. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Let's see your top 5.
So this is my honorable mention. Escape from New York. Honorable mention. You got Isaac Hayes in there. You're gonna kill me because I didn't watch much South Park.
Man, that's a good pick too. That's a good.
I knew he was on South Park too.
Yeah.
He played Dutch here. It was actually really good. There's a lot of good liners, like the head on the front. They based the second character, the Guerrero ripoff character, really just off the first character. So it's great. And that's why he got the honorable mention there. My next number 5 pick. Thank you for numbering these. I really appreciate it, Matt.
You're welcome.
Over the Top. Love this.
Oh my God.
What was that? Bill Hurley? What was his name? Bill Hurley?
Bill the Bull Hurley.
Bill Hurley. Yeah. Dude. Come on.
Dude, he is the epitome of late 80s, 90s.
Dude,
villain.
I watched that movie. Seriously, I didn't do sitcoms. I did movies, and I've watched that movie probably 100 times. I'm not gonna lie, 100 times. I love that movie.
Did you just see Marco turn on the switch? He just turned the switch.
I just turned it over. I'm gonna flip
it
it around. Flip it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
now we know why Marco was the pussy slammer. He was watching Over the Top.
a little bit before, I guess.
Wasn't Terry Funk in that? Like, wasn't he like one of the arm wrestlers? Terry
That's
Funk.
what he did. He went up to the chicks and he was like, "Over the top, bitch."
That's exactly what I did. You caught it.
You win.
No,
I
absolutely
win. I
did not.
slam that pussy.
All right.
wow.
So, anyways, I put him on there too because he just reminds me. He actually was like a second-rate villain through a lot of the 80s and 90s of these action movies. He showed up in a lot of different ones. I think he was even in a Batman movie, like Batman Forever or Batman Returns or something. He's like one of the henchmen. He just was the typical 90s type villainous, I'm gonna get you type guy.
Was he in Body Slam?
He looks like he body slam. No,
you were doing a lot of body slamming in the 90s. Watching Body Slam, body slamming women. You were just all about body slams, huh?
He looks like a boxer on Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
He does.
Hit his gut. Oink, oink, oink.
That's in real life.
I'm not gonna get into it. Hey, so that's number 5. Number 4. Who do I have at number 4? Oh, Running Man. All right, so it's kind of because there's a wrestler in there. You know, I love it. You got
cheated. One guy. Come on, cheater.
You guys do whatever you want. I'm starting to do whatever I want to. Man.
Is that so Chris Farley with a juicer on his head?
Yeah, no. So that's the electric guy. He like sang opera and shot electric bolts out of him. You had Buzz and the next guy over who just pretty much had a chainsaw. And each time somebody died, they used Jesse, the Bobby Ventura, was originally announcing this. And they used like these one-liners like, he lost his head. Then Jesse, who was like Captain Freedom in this, which is awesome too because of that mustache. Yeah. That was pretty cool. You had the hockey player, Mr. Freeze. It was just all around great. They were typical like 90 throwaway. Well, this is really probably the 80s, but either way,
good movie. That's a good pick.
Yeah,
good
Arnold
Stephen King movie.
What's that?
I said good Stephen King story.
Yes,
it was cool, man. I really enjoyed that one. All right, what's up next? Or do we? That's there. Here we go. Oh, so 48 Hours. This character was so good,
dude. James Remar, dude. He's from Dexter.
Yeah, James Rebar. He played Albert.
Remar.
Yeah, he played Albert Gatz in this. This is the first time like a psycho killer type. Like he's crazy. Just was crazy. The topic is 80s and 90s action villains. Thunder. Just so
oh my god.
So he played Gaz here, who's just like this crazy dude that he like randomly shot somebody. Such a good villain and such a good 90s villain that they eventually had his brother become the villain for 48 Hours too, but just gave him longer hair and kind of the same type of character. That was kind of a trope they used during that period of time during these action things like Die Hard when they had the brother cousin going on. Yep, same type of thing there. So I had him in there because he really got me like freaked out because he was ruthless. Like it was kind of cool.
He was actually the first like character in a movie that scared the shit out of me in a genuine way. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like a Jason or a Michael. Or he was a genuine dude, and he was just a badass. Like I wouldn't have fucked with him. Hell no.
See, Johnny put it better than I did. But yeah, he's the guy that I thought like he'd come in, kick my door down, and just shoot me in the head. Because like that's how he was. He was like the first like psycho. Like legitimately, you could believe this guy was crazy and a real person.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just in the movies. Yep.
Great pick, man. Great pick.
That movie is why you like Roxanne, huh? Okay. Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. Now I know you might have gone with Master Blaster. I know you might have gone with the dude that's on the front of the thing. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now that wrote on the card and everything else. But I like Tina Turner. Plus, I think she's hot, dude. I don't.
She did awesome in this movie.
She did.
That she really played. Dress weighed 80 pounds.
Oh yeah.
That's why she did good. Okay.
No, I'm saying that shows how good she is as an actress and as a singer to be walking as much as she did in this movie, walking around and doing all that in an 80-pound dress. Damn, that's brutal.
So she ran Bartertown. Her name was Auntie Enty, I think, something to that effect. Either way, she played a real great like villain. She was kind of on the same level as the other one, but since I thought she was also kind of hot, which might have explained the 90s for me too. Crazy chicks.
That is very villainous.
Yeah, dude, she was cool. Yeah, man, she was great. She just did a great job. So that's why I have her there. Did she have she had a little like gun thing too that she had going on. Still hot.
Looks like a little crossbow to me, but
still hot.
All right, next up. Oh, Big Trouble in Little China. Listen, so I'm doing I know I'm breaking the rules again, but you got Lopan in the storms here. The storms, one was rain, one was thunder, and one was lightning. And they use different powers. One's head blew up, but Lopan too, like how he's doing the like transferring back and forth. Yeah, like these were 90 typical bad, just bad guys, man. It was
awesome.
It was great. And why is I'm not trying not to look at the chat. I mentioned they're roasting me on my picks.
I missed about that.
Dude, so remember the storm guy in the middle, like his head blew up like the 50,000. It was crazy, dude. Also really cool. Great guys that I like.
I freaking love that movie.
Yeah, it was great. I love it. I mean, I don't think you could have gone wrong with any of these. So that's my picks, I guess.
Killer job, man. Killer job.
Yeah, that was good.
Killer
good
job.
picks, man.
Thank you.
That's good pick. Very entertaining.
Wait, they're actually liking my picks for once. This is great. Nobody's body slamming or saying, what was that movie? You guys actually fucking came through with it. Yeah, all these are obviously my picks.
Yeah, I can do that. Let's see here.
Or not.
He can do it, but will he do it? There it is.
All right. My number 5. Gene Simmons is Luther in Runaway.
Dude, I was gonna pick that. Yes, good.
Dude, this is quintessential Gene right here. He does such a good job in this movie. And if you guys haven't ever seen this movie, it's a classic.
He was like an almost mentioned for me, but I was like, I don't think anyone's ever heard of this movie. I thought maybe I was the only one that heard of it.
No, this is such a good movie. And Gene Simmons' debut, really, essentially, aside from, his breakaway debut from Kiss, which he did an awesome job. I can't believe nobody ever cast him again as a villain. You got Tom Selleck, you got Kirstie Alley is in this. It's just a great flick. It's about robots that go crazy because Gene Simmons has made these microchips and everything in it is kind of a futuristic. Everything's ran by robots and gun bullets go around corners. The movie's just awesome. It's just freaking awesome. You have to watch it. It's a must. Now, as we know with the Wookiee, he don't give a fuck and he likes to break the rules. So everybody had
Dude,
just Ed Rooney.
Send him to the back room. Put him in timeout.
Everybody had an Ed Rooney in their life. One of the greatest villains ever. How can you not have this on there? And there's action in this movie. Non-stop action. Ferraris and racing and always breaking out, getting away. Great movie. Great. One of the great villains of all time that we can all relate to. This is just, Jeffrey Jones is Ed Rooney, 1986, classic. He nails it. He nails it as the bad guy.
And I'm so glad you picked this because, and this is a true story. In high school, our vice principal's name was Mr. Rooney. And every time I got called in the office, dude, I could never keep a straight face ever. And he's like, "Stop laughing at my name." I'm like, "I can't help it. You're the dude."
You're the dude.
And he was just, "You're the dude." So, great pick.
So many great one-liners in this movie, and I bent the rules a little bit, and I didn't do honorable mentions because I had like 3 other ones that I wanted to put in.
It doesn't matter. I don't even think we should have topics for you, Solo. You should just pick whatever you want.
I agree. Now you're picking up what I'm laying down, brother. Fifth Element, man. Gary Oldman is Zorg. He knocks it out of the park, this guy.
He knocks it out of the park in everything he does.
He does, man. The guy is such a good actor. Yeah. 1997. He's quirky. He's a pain in the butt through the whole movie. You hate him, but you love him. It's just it's such a good villain, and it's so well portrayed.
He just had a birthday too.
Classic.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Wallace Shawn.
Yeah.
Hey,
This is
Man.
inconceivable. Everybody knows. I mean, that's just it. When you think of villains, you get your classics, you get your Vaders, you get your everything else, but
inconceivable.
this is right up there. Everybody knows this. Everybody. There's no escaping.
Romance story. I don't know.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
The villain of all villains. This is the villain. Absolutely. Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance in The Shining. One of the scariest all-time villains to ever exist. This is quintessential villain.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a good one. I have this picture of me putting on one of those gender swap apps, and I saw a face that I made as me as a woman, but it also made me look like old boy from Big Trouble in Little China. So yeah. I'm up there like, Mr. Batman. Oh man, yeah, I had to do it. As soon as you brought up Lopan, I was like,
All right, I'll go ahead and go.
There was some other real ones that I really wanted to put in, but I'm pretty sure they're going to come up. I'd be really on.
You know what you could have done? You could have just chosen 5 out of action movies from the 80s and 90s, and you would have been okay. I mean, you could.
I was in the ballpark.
Instead of horror, comedy, whatever.
So my number 5 is the cockpit top from Top Gun. because with
That's not right.
because without this without this there would have never been if Goose wouldn't have died there would have never
Yo, whose man is this? Whose man is this? Oh my god. Oh,
okay. My number 4 is OCP for fucking RoboCop. Because there are 2 villains in this movie.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh.
I don't even think you have to do any more. You killed it. Don't just end it.
Okay, I'm just gonna hurry up and go through mine.
No,
Society, Jurassic Park with Newman, and fucking in Armageddon, it's the fucking asteroid. So that's
go back to Goose. Goose should have been your number 1, bro. Oh my god, it's so wrong. What is wrong with you, man?
You're welcome, everybody. That is my top.
That's a walk-off. That is a walk-off.
Take a bow, sir. Take a bow.
That's it. Over.
Oh
man.
I'm
I'm
glad you didn't give me any time to freaking plan for this.
Over.
Over.
Oh. Hey, Matt, do you want to do Jedi submitted some? Do you want to do Jedi?
I don't think we should do any more. Like, that's it. That's done. Game over.
I'm crying, man. I'm crying.
You should have gone in reverse order in that because Jurassic Park was good. It really was good. But like you can't. You should have gone in reverse order.
You can't start. You shouldn't. Wow.
All right. So this is submission from Jedi Johnson. We got Jimmy from Roadhouse.
Yep.
He's kind of, yeah. Man, anybody who wears that earring. But not from Commando. It's number 5. Jesus, Goose. You still have the picture down in the corner of Goose, man.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's crazy. He was good.
That's a good one.
That
was a good one.
Oh, man.
Oh, London. Yeah. Ivan Drago.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
There's Van Damme. Someone was asking about earlier.
Oh, no.
Damn, Dukes, it's about fucking time.
Give the man a hand. Give the man a hand.
Give the man a hand.
Give the man a hand.
Jeez. Yeah, please get rid of the goose thing in the bottom corner because I'm just going to keep laughing. When I look at it. Get rid of that screen. All right, good job. Thank you, Jedi. Sorry about that, man. Kyle, you should have gone last. That was so good.
I had 2 of those guys on my original list. But I had Wesley from Roadhouse because Wesley, man, that guy was a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude, come on. Goose. Jesus. All right. Who's up next?
I guess I'll go. It's hard to follow Goose. It's so hard to follow Goose.
Got killed.
But my honorable mention.
It's just formality now.
Yeah, it really is. My honorable mention is Tony Perkins and heavyweights. Yeah, I know this isn't an action movie, but there are heavy kids driving go-karts and making jumps. And anytime you got a movie of Tony Perkins making husky kids Perkins, it's an action movie in my book. Oh, my number 5 is going to be Edgar from Men in Black. Because this a giant cockroach and walking around wearing other people's skin. It's just and that scene where he just pulls his skin back and wants some sugar water. It's as a kid. Water. Yep. Sugar water. As a kid, that was pretty terrifying to me. Number 4, Ivan Drago. We've already seen him. He's gonna break you. And Number 3, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Because nice. There's nothing more terrifying than a towering marshmallow man wearing an ascot and rocking a beret. You can't. One of the many forms of Gozer in that movie, you can't get much scarier than that. Number 2, of course, you got to go with the man.
My man, that's the one I was waiting
Hans
for.
Gruber. It ain't Christmas until he's going off the tower.
That's right.
That's when you know Christmas is here. Number 1, Daniel LaRusso. From the Karate Kid. Let's be honest here. Johnny got a raw deal in this movie. Look, he was having a spat with his girlfriend, and Daniel LaRusso came in and decided to help himself, and he just wanted to continuously pick fights. If you ask me, he's the bad guy in this movie, and Johnny was just trying to defend his territory.
You know what? I bet you he didn't watch Seinfeld either.
Nope.
You know what? He was slamming.
Oh, man.
So Daniel LaRusso is the villain of the Karate Kid.
Just because you had one funny joke, bro, doesn't mean they're all funny.
Got them all.
All right, Johnny, what do you got? You got anything? You sweep the leg?
Oh man, it's tough because I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, and I wasn't prepared for cockpit. So, I mean, who does that? Kyle, who does that?
Fucking crying.
The champ.
Yeah, exactly. I went through. I was going through it. I was looking at it. I had Vader at number 5. So I don't have any cool graphics, so we're just going to go with it. I got Vader at number 5. I've got General Zod from Superman 2 at number 4.
Yep, those are both 2 of my honorables.
Yep. I got Jack Torrance from The Shining at number 3. And I have I'm drawing a blank, but Kevin Spacey from 7 at number 2. I mean, what's in the box? Yeah. I mean, come on. And my number 1, Hans Gruber from Die Hard.
Hans is a big
Yippee ki
Oh man.
motherfucker.
You've never seen Heavyweights? Go watch it on Disney Plus. You'll thank me later.
Nope. That's my top 5.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had a bunch of those too. I had to pick some other ones. Legend, Tim Curry and Legend was another one that I really wanted to toss in there. That's classic villain.
Well, even Tim Curry's I mean, Pennywise was a big consideration for me. But I mean, Hans Gruber, I don't care what anyone says. Hans Gruber.
Yeah, he's definitely top 5.
Love him.
I was gonna pick the T-1000, but I felt like that was just too easy.
I was gonna pick Water from Gremlins.
You
smart ass.
That would have been a good one too. Not as good as Cockpit.
Or I was gonna pick Corey Feldman. I wasn't sure which one, if it was gonna be Water or Corey Feldman.
Well, somebody give him the crown because he won tonight. He's the king.
He did. That Cockpit was,
Kyle, I'm gonna be laughing about that fucking cockpit tomorrow.
I
I'm gonna be laughing.
I didn't think it was gonna be that funny. I didn't think everyone was gonna react like that. That's why I made it number 5.
never saw it coming, man.
It should have been number 1.
Yeah,
Sir.
now you're the queen. You got demoted.
Never saw it coming. That was great. Cockpit. Top Gun.
See, we're still laughing. Freaking laughing. We're still laughing, sir.
What do we got? Comic reviews. This is late for comic reviews, but we got to get them in. We promise.
Cockpit.
Stop thinking.
So why don't we go back to naming Nightwing's dog, and then we'll get into comic reviews.
After Cockpit, naming Nightwing's dog just doesn't.
I know.
No, just go to comic reviews, man. It's already 1 a.m. out here.
I mean, we can skip them if you want.
No. We had a guest. We promised we were going to review his book. We are not skipping out.
We did. We said it was fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
Since you want to do it, Stray Dogs number 2. Go kick us off, Marco.
Stray Dogs number 2. Why I got to kick it off because we're getting it wrong. So they start off. We had
Did you say why do I got to do it because I'm going to get it wrong? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, because of the red scarf thing.
Oh my
God.
I'm sure you'll be fine this time.
Yeah. So they wait. They're if you forget the last time, they kind of figured out that there's something going on, but their memory's short. The red scarf is what keeps bringing it back. The 2 dogs are going to work together. Kyle, for some reason, wanted us to put the underwear pant pictures in here, so we did, of the creepy guy. So we did that. Obviously, these 2 are back together. They're bringing out the scarf so that they can remember. The next page gets into it. There is the owner. They start going into this back room to find all this stuff, and you find out that this guy is now stored. This is creepy. It starts getting creepy here. They go into the room that they're not allowed to go into because all the other dogs are, you're not allowed to go into that room. So the 2 main dogs go back there, the one that's new and the main guy. They go into the back. They start looking at all the clothing and all the other creepy trophies that this guy's kept. They're looking around for any other clues of her owner, do a little chat. And then all of a sudden, okay, they find this, which was so she thinks that it was a stuffed thing. He actually somehow knows what wolves are and explains to her the fact of the wolves.
I'm really sorry. Coyote.
Sorry, coyote. What a stuffed coyote is. They keep looking around, and then all of a sudden there is some banging. Oh yeah. I do. No, I know why they have the dogs now.
Just because of the interview.
Right. So fast forward a little bit. The owner, not owner, I guess. What would you call him? The psycho killer that steals dogs?
They call him the master.
Yeah. The psycho killer master guy that steals dogs grabbed the Dane, pulled him outside, and put him in timeout or into a box. It's really messed up because he kicks him. We didn't play that panel, but you do see off screen. We talked about it already. How you can hear the dog yelp and stuff like that. She, on the other hand, hides in the closet. Then you get this creepy stuff right here. This is like, what was he watching or recording? This is the one part I have a question. Was it a recording? Because it's pretty much him replaying over and over again what the victims are saying.
He is practicing. He is practicing what he's going to say to the women he walks up to at the dog park.
So super creepy, dude.
Yeah.
This page was super creepy, dude. And then she has a flashback of him doing it. He goes into the closet to grab her. Here's a crash and a bang. That's actually when he abuses the other dog. They put her in this lockbox outside in the backyard. All the other dogs now, once again, are ganging up on the new dog. She's like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't do anything. They go outside. The creepy underwear guy, fully clothed now, opens the door and allows the alpha dog to come out. The alpha dog's got a broken paw, correct? Is that what's going on here? Or at least it's sprained, something to that effect. So we figure when he smacked him or stepped on him, he somehow broke the paw. And then they find a picture. They draw the picture. And this is kind of how we were talking about. So now it's going to follow a different dog every time, right? So we follow the alpha dog. Now we're going to follow this husky who they found a picture and they couldn't figure out who's in the picture. And this husky says, oh, that's my owner. So now the next episode is going to follow this around. And we're probably going to see some more creepy taking, oh man, it was just messed up. Like there's some panels there where he was doing that pitch where he's pitching himself what he was going to say to the owner. And then they did a flashback of how he used those languages or that language and those words with killing the one woman. It's a good book, but man, is it messed up, bro. Like they get you. So that's our review without completely spoiling it. We hope you buy the books because we enjoy it a lot. So hopefully you guys do too.
I agree.
Yep. Good. Agree. Matt, you don't agree with that?
I agree. 100%.
Yeah, you're the one that got
He
hooked
was
on
just
it.
somewhere else.
No, I'm just in awe of that explanation. Like that is some fantastic comic book reviewing. Whoever says you can't
phenomenal?
interview,
Is it phenomenal?
or it was phenomenal. Whoever says you can't do interviews,
It's 100% wrong.
No,
you
100%.
can't, you can't review comics. 100% wrong. That was a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal. I don't know if that's really good because
Phenomenal.
I have so many questions. Like I enjoy the read. I enjoy the book. I really like the art, but like even I see it in different
You
ways.
had you had the mastermind on here, and you still have so many questions. Like,
Well, I do because like I probably should have asked him the questions if that
Call
was
him
like a
back.
recording because I thought that was kind of like a recording type thing, maybe that he was playing. I think we might see it later, but who knows? Either way, it's creepy, dude. Whatever it is, it just makes you like it's that character. You didn't have to put him in whitey tighties to make him creepy. He already is creepy. Like he's creepy as hell, and it gets worse. Like that's why I was kind of asking that question when I asked Tony earlier. Like, does it keep getting worse? Because this one, it was messed up, man. It really was. Yeah, dude, the guy's creepy. Anyways,
well, at least you know you're on a roller coaster because it's going to get worse.
yeah, he did say it's
Pre-
gonna get
he
worse.
said-
yourself.
Yeah, he said 4. He goes 3 is gonna be bad, but check out 4 is gonna get worse. So
So that's
Yeah.
the issue.
All the
to
dogs are
pick
getting
up.
kicked in issue 4. All the dogs are going to get kicked.
yeah, so I think they're just gonna keep going. Like I think the Huskies next, right? And then something's gonna happen to that one, and then they're gonna. Did he say he's gonna do the one shot and like every dog's gonna get? Look, I don't know, man. I
All
don't know.
dogs go to heaven. Every
He's gonna
dog's
get some
have their
hate
day.
mail. I'll tell you that. Like the dog people are crazy though.
Has that book.
Yeah, dog people are crazy. They will come for you. He owns dogs. He should know this. I don't know. All right, what's up next on the to do?
Well, do you guys
Falcon
want
Winter
to
Soldier.
talk Falcon Winter Soldier?
Or do you want to do another comic review?
We can do either one.
Look, I mean, honestly, if we were going to review all these books, but I mean, we had 2 great interviews tonight. I think it's a
check
solid
out
way to do
Alien.
it.
The
Yeah.
artwork in Alien was good too. I'm just
No,
gonna
the
say that.
art. Are you kidding me? The artwork in Alien was terrible.
Awesome. I love it.
Nah, that got my Rob Liefeld Terrible Art of the Week award.
What?
Yeah,
Well, now you
I
have to
like
bring
that
it up
first
because I haven't
panel where
seen
you
it.
had the.
dude.
so
All
no,
right.
yeah. I like the first panel where you had.
come
the
on,
mother-
come on, bro. Really?
No, I did. I like that. Like art's subjective, man. Okay, that's not good. All right, that's not good. I'll say that.
Oops, hold on.
That's not
Okay,
good
that's-
either because
that's
it's
not
too
good.
wordy.
There we go.
No, I'm saying like okay, you take yes, this is the Rob Liefeld. Yes. I'm saying the
You
beginning
know,
part.
feet or what?
I'm saying the space part where he's in space. You skipped all the good stuff and went right to the bad stuff.
No, this is the beginning of the book.
No.
Yes.
Oh, no, keep going.
This is all terrible. Look at this
going.
fate. Come on, dude.
Keep going.
Marco.
Keep going.
Look at that
That looks like almost like
handshake.
Steve Buscemi.
I don't know. I liked it. It was better than that DC book you made me read.
With James Woods.
I was thinking more of
I like the actual stuff when they were in space, like this here, and when they were in space.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that.
That's it.
That's the only panel I sent you was that panel. So that's the panel.
The rest of this is just.
This is a Marvel book?
Well, that's robot. He's supposed to be a robot. He looks robot-y.
He looks like James Woods now. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
He does.
Side note, this one would also been a great honorable mention as villain.
Yes. If we were doing sci-fi movies.
Yeah, right.
But Solo breaks the rules anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter. The art in this book is just, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, I like the alien stuff.
The aliens are good, but the people are just weird.
Yeah,
There's this panel right here. He looks like Vin Diesel's brother. He looks like he's about to tell you. He looks like he's about to tell you how important family is. All right.
Hey, once again, I like the aliens portion of this book. This is the alien portion. Just go back to the aliens and stuff like that.
I
don't understand that. Go back up though. I don't get the whole like 3/4.
He looks a little. He looks a little like John Bernthal too. He's got like a little bit of a.
He's got a little bit of everything in him.
Yeah,
he does got a little everything in him.
Little John Bernthal, little Vin Diesel.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Those are some killer cheekbones. I mean,
well, the head thing.
Well, he's kind of a tweaker, so they're sucked in a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Like this. This is very Vin Diesel.
He snorts a little cocaine. You know what I'm
you
saying?
owe me a 10-second car. That's what that is. That's very Vin Diesel. Even his little hair come down.
Well,
there you go. There's the panel. That's right there. Come on, man.
Okay, so for Marco, it's check out the awesome art in this book.
Yeah. Check out the awesome aliens in this book because that's about all it's worth. Otherwise, the art, like, look how big his 5 head is right here.
That guy looks like a young Lance Henriksen from Pumpkinhead.
I get that the focus is the alien, but I mean,
Lance Henriksen.
Hey, isn't that guy? Doesn't he fly something in Star Wars?
Oh, Porkins? Is it Porkins? This is cool. Where she gets her head blown off. That's good. But
that's pretty good.
You know, this dude looks like he slipped on a shotgun shell.
Are you on mute, Marco? Did you mute yourself?
He probably did because he's probably screaming.
That's just the face. She doesn't. Yeah, So the face shooting off. The aliens parts were cool. The aliens were cool in a book called Aliens.
Look at that old alien on the right. Like that's Howard the Duck alien. Like look at that.
Thought it was Keith Richards.
He's a little bit awesome. Oh, yeah.
Like it just.
You didn't like this book? I thought it was okay.
No.
The focus is the aliens, and the aliens look good.
Look how big this gun is.
It's a silencer.
I actually like.
It's bigger than him.
I like the line work.
Thank you.
I like the line work. I think it's cool.
On what?
I'm pretty.
On that gun?
On the line, in the book. In the entire
Look at
book,
those ears.
I'm liking. I'm sorry. I like it. Sorry.
Hey, I'm with you, man. Look.
Hey, you're allowed to like whatever you want.
Oh, he is, but I'm not.
I think.
Like Kristen Stewart.
I think a little bit. I think.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Kristen Wiig. Kristen Wiig is one.
I see.
Yeah, I knew exactly what you were talking about. I think what they did was take images of people acting out, and then they drew over it. That's why it looks the way it does in certain panels. Maybe they could have got a different color artist, maybe a different inker, but the line work itself, I think, is actually pretty good. So
that last guy in the chamber, he looked like hand over fist from Heavy Metal.
Bro, you guys review DC books. You have no.
I don't care how many times you put that comment up there, Marco. It does. I understand it, but it's still bad art, dude.
Here we go. Wait, guys.
95% of that book is terrible. All right, come on.
I didn't do it.
The focus is the aliens.
Focus is the aliens. Hence the title of the book, man.
Phenomenal.
I enjoyed it. I actually got through that one. Unlike that DC book, Academy, that was like That was a short novel there on 3 pages, for crying out loud. You couldn't even see the artwork in that book.
We get it.
You see my hands. I'm not doing it. It's you guys still trying to tell jokes. All right. Anyways. All right. So let's move on to Matt's the Dane Cook of this show, man. Just keep telling the joke and hopefully it'll become funnier.
No, that's me.
Oh.
Dane cooking it.
That's not me. I'm not. Oh, that's it. Keep poking the bear. Teen Titans Academy.
No, let's not go over this book.
Yeah, we're gonna go over this book. So if you were reading the Future State stuff, this is going back in time now to the beginning of where all of that book kicked us off. The Teen Titans are basically starting their own X-Men Academy, so to speak. They're going to train tomorrow's heroes today at the Roy Harper School. The school's honored to Roy Harper, Speedy, who's fallen. And so they've picked the best of the best here, and Starfire is the headmistress, and basically they're welcoming the class. And then so here you go is Dick. He's in the danger room, or war room as you want to call it. He's about to start training a bunch of newbies, and they start asking him about Red Hood or Red X. And so he goes through his whole past as Red X and how like basically the best way to train is to fight yourself. And so he's kind of going over all that in the X-Men danger room. And then you get down here where they're going to have a party for him. Let me scroll down a little bit more. You see this new student. He keeps fighting in the danger room against Red X. He seems to be very occupied with Red X. He's very obsessed with Red X and unleashes his true power. And he gets caught here by Donna. And she's like, well, I'm not, let's spar. So she wants to fight him. They back off the fight. You go down here a little bit more to the birthday party for Nightwing, because he's a special dude. You got to celebrate him. And get some arm wrestling going because, every birthday is not complete without a little bit of arm wrestling.
Over the top.
Yep. And he's talking about somebody gave him the gift. Yep, somebody gave him the gift of the focus on the alien. So gave him the gift of the Red X mask.
Yep.
He's kind of like, what's going on with this? He's like, I put this to bed, and they're all like, no, that mask shows that it's not put to bed yet. So they're talking about it a little bit more, and then it goes back to the danger room, and he finds that new student, Brick, still fighting and going at it, and he takes off running, and they're not sure what to do. And then you kind of have Starfire and Dick make a very like sexual innuendo against each other. Like he's gonna get a little something.
Dick of Dick.
Yep, like she's gonna body slam him like Marco in the '90s when he's not watching Seinfeld or Friends.
So you get Dick.
Yeah, at the very last panel, you got someone in the Red X mask punching the mirror. I think it's that Brick dude. I think Brick.
So where's Mephisto?
Red X. There's no Mephisto. Mephisto don't live here no more. But that's Teen Titans.
He's not coming.
He's not coming anymore. He's not cool.
Oh, that book sucks then.
Al, did you like Teen Titans? What do you think of Teen Titans, Kyle?
Thought it was wordy as fuck.
Well, if you wanted a book this week that had no words in it, you should have check out HaHa issue 3.
Jesus. Yeah, we should.
I'm not gonna review it, but HaHa issue 3.
I like pictures.
Yeah, there's absolutely no words in it because it's following a mime. There you go. No words.
Yeah,
I like pictures.
Yeah. The cool book.
I'm gonna get one over on you. How? I'm not writing a fucking word in this book.
No, there was like 12 words in the whole book. I was like, oh my God, when we have to review this. I know I said that I like the art and books like they did in Stray Dogs, but this is ridiculous. There was like 5 words in that, and it was the
cool
robot thing. Frog wasn't
week,
dead.
A book I liked this week was Carnage, Red, White, and Blood, or Black, White, and Blood. It's there only because of the last like little story. It's 3 different stories. The last little story is kind of like a choose your own adventure where it wants you to roll dice where you're the new like Agent Venom, but you're trying to take over the Carnage symbiote, and you have skill points, and depending on whatever you do, spend your skill points. And if you run out of skill points through the adventure, Carnage takes over. If you maintain your skill points, then you take over the Carnage symbiote. It was kind of a cool, interesting little side tit in the comic. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. But what about let's talk about Falcon Winter Soldier now.
That was good.
The end.
I liked it.
The end.
Real good. It was real good. It was real good.
I did not expect to enjoy this series as much as I do. I really didn't. I expected the other one better, and that shall remain nameless. And I like this one tenfold better. The action in this one's better. So far, the storyline's better. I can't wait to see Mephisto.
He's not coming, man. I can't wait to see the Super Soldier Omega Red.
They're throwing every other super soldier out there. They threw the other Captain American out there. They threw we got US agent. You got what's his name that turns into who's the Lawrence guy? The sidekick that turns into the super agent, the superhero Bucky guy. It was good. They did a great job. The bad guys actually they got F&S from Star Wars there. They do a great job all around.
You get Lamar Hoskins Battlestar. You get the first Black Captain. That one that was a nice. I liked. Well, go ahead, Adonis. What were you gonna
say? That introduction to Black Cap that was pretty cool, and the interaction with them outside in the street. That was. I feel like they did a really good job of making this feel like, oh my gosh, this could be a real thing. It entraps us into the storyline a lot better.
I think
the reality of it.
Yeah, and I think the whole overall dynamic between Bucky and Sam is doing that, especially when they're in the therapy session. And Bucky kind of breaks down and says, look, if Steve gave you the shield and you don't want it because you think you made a mistake, he thought I could be better, so he's wrong about me too. So I like that whole dynamic about it too. There's a lot of good stuff going on in that show. I'm surprised by it.
I am too. They're doing a really good job with it. It's well thought out. The scenes are the just everything about it is so well done. It's very impressive.
I've been excited to watch it. Like, I knew going into this episode tonight that I'd possibly spoilers, and I'm not worried about. I haven't seen it yet, guys. Just throwing it out there. I have not seen it yet. Really so, but now you've piqued. My interest was piqued anyway. But yeah, so now I'm like, Garrett, and it's not even a thing. Like, it wasn't like a thing. I wasn't gonna watch it. I was finding the time to watch it. But now I'm excited. You guys got me all revved up.
I think what's cool about it too is it does have that comic book feel, right? Like they have reveals, like it's characters there with a little bit of backstory. Then they give you kind of like the social notes on a lot of things too in it, and not like pound it in your face, but like give you the feel of what it's like so that everybody can get that feeling for it. And they've done a really good job at that. I mean, even like the bromance type thing that they did well. They add a little bit of comedy where the guys, oh, how many guys do you see here? 2, 4, like that whole thing too. The bad guys actually feel like legitimate bad guys. And then even they have got that humanization of them where they are something that they're worried about too, which you see. And man, it was real. Now I'm trying not to spoil it with Johnny, but like it was really good.
I was going to tell you, take the gloves off because I'm going to watch it regardless. I mean, I'm a fan of this stuff. So don't, people watching it, man, just discuss it. It's good. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And it's still new to me when I sit down and watch something like that anyway. So, man, just, hey.
Yeah, so like obviously
you're selling it to me.
Yeah, the Cap portion where they did, the Cap portion where he was in the house and the grandson or whatever wouldn't let it in. And then he goes through like the whole Vietnam, Korean vet type thing there. That was really good. That was very well done. And then they jumped straight from that. But even before that, where they did like the thing back and forth where they're sneaking up and Winter Soldier's telling them like, oh, I don't trust this tech or I don't do this or whatever. That relationship, they jump right from there to going to that the tidbit in the house. They come outside and then the police incident occurs out there and they eventually arrest the Winter Soldier. And then the counselor, whatever, okay, but it is what it is. They get in there, explain that a little bit, and then go straight to the bad guy showing you how that they think they're on one type of path too, but they definitely stole something, and consequences are going to be getting paid for that too. As much as I found it funny how they showed U.S. agent's face, like they made him uglier, I guess, or like he just looked like somebody you want to punch when they first revealed him there. And they kind of toned that back. They did a lot of not using the mask that smushes his face and gives you that look in the first one. They wanted to give him a little bit of gruff and make him a little different. But you still, I don't know about you guys, I still had that underlining, I want to punch the guy type thing for him. And even though his sidekick seemed really cool, you're just like, no, Falcon and Winter Soldier are fine. You guys still lost it and everything like that.
It was, I mean, more so when you had the interaction when they're fighting on top of the semis. When he first interacts with Bucky and Sam, and he talks about, go ahead, Adonis. I saw you raising your hand.
Hi. This is a two-part question. The part after they revealed his face, I just saw so many memes of him side by side with old boy from Up. And I was just like, wow, I can't unsee that now. So every time I see him in this series, I see old boy from Up wearing Captain America's helmet, and I'm just like, I can't really take this seriously anymore.
Yeah, I just thought they did a good job. Like, he was so annoying too. He like hit the police siren thing too in the parking lot. That just was like, of course you would do that. Of course. You would do that. Like you got to be that guy, huh?
I did really like that. I was afraid this was going to be another filler episode because they did so much of that with the other, one shall not be named, but it totally was not a filler episode at all. It totally gave points. It had good action. It did not feel like a filler episode. It didn't feel like that kill play. I mean, it's feeling like every episode. I mean, granted, we're only into it for 2 of them, and there's not a whole lot of them. So it feels really good that like they're packing it in there. They're giving you delivery in every episode. You're not feeling like this is a story one I could skip and catch the next one.
Well, it is action based. Yeah, it really is. That's what it is. It's action.
My thing is, and if I haven't even watched it yet, and so that's why I don't mind you talking about it, because I'm going to watch it regardless. But the one thing that, and this is just my opinion, this avenue with Disney Plus, this awesome. I say it awesome because it's like they're pumping money into these shows. I mean, it's evident. I mean, the money's there, the writing's there, the acting's there. Their opportunity to make these episodes freaking awesome. It's like little builder to, of course, obviously the bigger goal, cinematic movie explosion, the next Infinity War. I actually liked the last show that shouldn't be named.
I did too.
You know what I mean?
You can name it all you want. Everybody names it. That's just something.
WandaVision.
Right
WandaVision.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever heard that before.
I liked WandaVision, and Wookie, stop being a baby. It was good. It was really good. It was well contrived, well thought out. I mean, I was like most people. The first couple episodes, I was like, I had to actually step away, walk away, come back, and by episode 3 and 4, I was hooked. But I knew with the next one, with Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like they said, it's action based. It's gonna hook us in. It's gonna be,
yeah.
And I haven't even seen it yet, so you guys got me all excited. And I think Wookie's just bitter for some reason.
Always.
I can't believe how well of a job though they're telling the human story though. Like they did it on the first one. They did it with the son, right? They did it with the son where he was following around the dad after he'd killed him, and then this one they do like the other 2 portions of it, and it's good, and it seems like I don't know how long the episodes are running. Are they running 40 minutes? Somebody will probably check me and go.
This last episode was 48 minutes with credits.
I think it's like 40.
So it's about 40 minutes of showtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job. It seems like a proper pace. That's the one thing. No matter what they've been doing on Disney Plus, the pacing's always seemed off. You know, it seems like, some seem 20, 30 minutes, some seem 40 minutes, some seem, whatever. But
that's because they're trying to do the end credits like they do in the movies in their episodes. I mean, they're putting just as much money in these end credits. It's like an extension of the episode, and you can contribute that to Jon Favreau doing The Mandalorian. I mean, amazing job. I mean, that show is freaking phenomenal. But the money they're pumping into these shows, they're saying, if that worked with Favreau's Mandalorian, they're now rolling it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, these are just mini movies. I mean, these episodes are probably costing a few million a piece to produce.
A little cheaper, but but they're doing a better job. I mean, they are doing a better job of it and rolling it out nicely. Just I was saying, like, that some of the even in The Mandalorian, there were some there was definitely time differentials you could tell, where it seems like Winter Soldier, and they're finally hitting it where it doesn't matter what episode they're doing, they all seem about an even amount, which is kind of cool, man.
That's good.
That's good to see that. It really is kind of cool to see that. And it looks like they're going to Reddit or whatever, and whatever checklist you have, you want to see Omega Red, check, they're going to get that. You want to see Black Captain America, check, we'll put that guy in there too. We'll put in U.S. Agent, check. We'll put in Lawrence, check. And we're going to get Nick Fury Jr. probably at one point, check. We're going to get them all in there. We're just going to go down the checklist and hit them all up in 6 episodes. Give you everything we can and drop them all in there. And they're doing a good job with it too. So I'm looking forward to the next episode.
The next episode.
I mean, this is one of the shows I'm excited for the next episode every time. It's like, oh yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adonis. We'll see you, brother.
Thanks, Adonis.
See ya. I'll try and come back again next week and be more attentive to
same Adonis time, same Adonis place, same Adonis channel.
Later.
But good stuff. It's 2 episodes in Falcon Winter Soldier. Good stuff. But let's talk about the other thing that came out yesterday, and that's Robert Kirkman's Invincible. Fantastic.
I watched the first episode. It was good.
It's fantastic. If you're a fan of the graphic novel, I would definitely recommend checking it out. If you like The Boys, I would recommend checking it out because it's probably one of the most graphic and violent adult animated cartoons on Amazon Prime right now. So good.
Did everybody watch it or not?
I didn't. I've seen so far. I have not heard one person say they didn't like it.
It's good. It flows good. The art is good. The animation is good. It's gory. It's you can tell it's firing on all cylinders.
The voice acting team that's in it is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very gory. Like you have to get to the end of the first episode because I saw previews for it and I was like, you see him getting all beat up and blood everywhere, and you're like, all right, and you're watching the first episode and you're going and he's just discovering his powers, and Mark's getting his powers, and like, all right, well, where's the blood? And then the credits hit, and you're like, okay, maybe it's not as bloody as I thought it was going to be. And then you get the after credit scene leading in this episode, dude.
When he squished,
yeah,
the eye pops. It's awesome.
Yes, and they get.
I don't want to give. This is actually one thing where usually I'm like F spoilers. I don't care. I'm going to get, but this is one show where I don't really want to give too much away.
Yeah.
It's really that good, and it's really worth sitting down and watching. It totally is like this is a home run.
Is it worth the subscription? I turned mine off because I got tired. Once The Boys was over, I was like, well, there's nothing to watch for,
if you're gonna do it,
so I got rid of it.
I would recommend. So you get the first 3 episodes. The way Amazon release schedule is, you get the first 3 episodes up front, and then they're weekly after that. In your case, if you don't have an Amazon Prime subscription, I would wait till it's over, subscribe for a month, watch it, and then end your subscription if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't subscribe to it now for the weekly episodic stuff, because then you're just going to pay for it month after month. But
sure,
I would, for someone in your case, I would recommend just waiting till the whole series is out and then going back and watching it. But yeah, I mean, if you've got Amazon Prime already, Amazon Prime Video, it's a home run. It's really, really good.
It's good advice. I think I'll wait as badly as I want to see.
I gave the first episode, I gave it like a 4.8 out of 5. And I don't usually rate things high. And I don't really rate things quite as bad as Solo.
I was just gonna say, man, I rate things high all the time. You ask Marco, I'm in that top tier. If you don't believe me, you should watch that show tomorrow.
But it's awesome. It's great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
Yes, like Mojo Quid says in the chat, it just flows. It does. It flows very well.
And it doesn't seem to drag or lag. It just it moves at a very good pace.
Yes, get used to spoilers. Everyone's going to be talking about it. Absolutely.
Usually I'm someone that this is I don't care about spoilers. I don't care about telling you spoilers. But this one, I think it's worth sitting down and watching.
Well, I'm sure I'll get clips and everything from watching podcasts and listening to news and all of that as I do. And I'm one of those guys, like Johnny said earlier, I'm like, I don't care, and I'll still go see it. I'll still make sure and watch it. Hell, if they put out a Blu-ray, I'll probably even buy it. But I'm excited to see it. I've heard nothing but good about it. So,
well, it's like Tony said earlier, everything went animated because of COVID, and I think Invincible is going to be that show that shows how graphic animation can be and how comic book accurate it can be, and it's going to lead the pack. I think it's going to help drive more studios to turn comics into animated movies versus live action. So
nice. Well, that's good.
But
I think 3 hours 25 minutes is a great stopping point.
Yeah. So
and we appreciate all of you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
Remember to hit that thumbs up if this is your first time finding the channel and finding us. Please like and subscribe and do it.
If you get 115 likes, we'll do another Solo review. Please don't.
Yes.
Please don't.
Yes.
Please do. But thank you to Johnny for filling us in on what's going on with the pops. Thank you to Tony for joining us on another fire interview. You both did fantastic tonight. Go check out Stray Dogs, guys. And like Kyle said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on so you know when all the fantastic shows on this channel go live, especially that Star Wars show. Shout out to our boys over at Grizzle Geek who was on Marco's show Thursday, throwing it down on some March Droid madness. And on that note, till next week,